All right, hello everybody. How are we doing today? We are back, another TTRPG stream. This is going to be an extended one. We're gonna try to do a consistent play here of playing the Stormlight Archive RPG from the Cosmere Brotherwise Games developed game. Big Kickstarter on from Brandon Sanderson a couple, like 2 years ago, year and a half ago at this point. But I got some friends here playing with me. Going to be playing a bunch of different heroes. Which we're going to start figuring out today, what everybody's going to be playing. Some people have more idea than others, but joining me here on stream, going from the top left around, we got Anthony Caputi. Hello, Caputi.
Hello.
Next to him, we have Sam. Hello, Sam. And as you can see, everybody is currently playing as Char name is until we figure out what the characters' names are going to be. Below me, we have Evan. Hello, Evan.
Hello.
And then below him is Hemal. Hello, Hemal.
Hello.
All right, so to start here, we're going to be playing the starting adventure first step, the first step. It's a session 0 adventure where everybody kind of makes choices and it helps determine what heroic paths would work depending on how you want to play and kind of help guide you towards the Radiant Order you might want to join. And then after that, we're going to continue into the Stonewalker adventure, which is like... I think it's supposed to go to like level 7 or 8. So that is the plan for now. We are going to get started. And like I said, a couple people have a good idea of what they want to play. If you don't, so we're just going to go through this. The way this adventure is going to work is sort of choose your own adventure-y, where there will be events that happen and I will go through a list of choices and say like, what is your character doing in this situation? And based on what they choose, it will give them different stat bonuses and things like that for the character. And then certain points throughout the adventure, there will be pit stops where we'll go and like distribute more points and even things out based on how they want to play. The first session 0 adventure, the whole first step, is sort of fluid, where by the end of it, we'll have characters figured out, but in the midpoint areas, you can really change things around however you want. If you get a better idea of what you want to play and it's not quite going with what you did with the choices you made. So it's all pretty fluid until we get into the actual Stonewalker adventure. But with that, we are going to start. So you don't need to be super familiar with Roshar or the Stormlight Archive setting at all. A lot of the stuff in the adventure will be explained, and what isn't explained by the adventure, me or Evan, who has also read the books, will be able to provide more context. But yeah, I think from there is a good place to start. So, when we get into this, at this point, it's been weeks since you last saw the Windblades of Kholinar when you joined the caravan and began your travels to the Shattered Plains. Your journey has taken you south through Kholinar and along the Thanadol border before continuing east toward the war camps. So, Kholinar is the capital of Alethkar. The Windblades, they're giant, basically like wind fans that spin along the outer wall of the city. The Shattered Plains is a place to the south where there's a war going on currently, and all of the Alethi forces, the 10 High Princes, have camps set up at the Shattered Plains, and you are currently heading to those war camps, specifically the Kholin war camp, Kholin. At the end of another long day, Bright Lady Ralanat, the caravan's noblewoman leader, decides to set up camp in a nearby ravine. Its steep walls promise protection from both bandits and high storms, the tempests that rage across Roshar every few days. The Chulls, horse-sized crustaceans, make their slow descent into the ravine. There's a lot of stuff to explain here. Bright Lady Ralanat, Bright Lady, Bright Lord are honorific titles. The castes of the world are in this portion of the world are separated into dark-eyed and light-eyed people. So, people with blue, green, golden eyes are light-eyed, and then brown-eyed people are considered lower class in this world. And then there's more granular separation between the two. So there are a lower class bright eye and a high class dark eye are sort of comparable in some situations. Let's see what else. The high storms, as I said. Sorry, would you go ahead, Evan?
I was gonna say the caste system gets a little In depth.
Yes, and you know, if it becomes important, we'll get into it a little bit more. But that's basically the upper level stuff that you need to know. Is basically dark eyes, light eyes. Light eyes are the bright lords, bright ladies, the like nobility of the world.
Mm-hmm.
The high storms, as it said, are huge tempests that rage across. They move from east to west across the land every week or so, roughly, give or take. Figuring out when they are coming is sort of a full-time job for some people in the world, called storm wardens. And they bring with them stormlight, which is a power source that's used to power a lot of the mechanisms that have been created throughout the world. The money that people use are spheres with gems in them that store stormlight that they put into lanterns and you know, along walls and things like that to light their homes. And they've built their architecture to protect against these things, like eastward facing walls don't have windows on them, to protect against the storms and things of that nature. And then chulls, as it said, horse-sized crustaceans. Basically 95, if not more, % of the flora and fauna of this world have a shell of some sort. The humans don't, but they are some have stuff, but yeah, everything is crab. Exactly. If you haven't played that game, it's pretty fun. But the plants have shells and they have like viney tendrils that come out to grab nutrients and stuff. But if people get close, or when the storms come, the tendrils retreat into the shells to protect them. The animals all have some sort of carapace. There's the singer culture, and all of the singers are humanoids that are covered with thick carapace to protect them from the storms. Yeah, and I think that's all from that paragraph that I have to explain. And then, so, you are descending into this ravine, and as you all settle in, the only sounds you hear are the Colon soldiers' quiet conversation and the soft clicks of dozing Chul. You two are nodding off when a panicked sentry cries, "Bandits!" Startled, you hurry to the center of camp to find spear infantry streaming down the east side of the ravine. These aren't undisciplined bandits. They move with military precision. To the west, arrows whistle toward civilians who clutch their belongings as they run. Many fall, arrow shafts protruding from their backs. Fierce brands seep from the ground, forming purple pools around the boots of the minuscule Colon military contingent guarding the caravan. One last thing to explain from that paragraph is Spren. So Spren are creatures, both some sentient, some more just a natural force in the world, that are everywhere. So if somebody gets really angry, a puddle of red Spren that look like blood forms at their feet. When people are shocked, yellow all Spren, like shattering glass, form around their head. I tried to find a good reference image that I can share, but I couldn't find one right now. I'll get one of those for later. But basically just know that most emotions you can have, there is an associated Spren that will show up and kind of give away your emotions if it's strong enough. Like just mild surprise or something like that won't warrant that, but any strong emotions will bring Spren to you and kind of give away your emotions.
I have found a quick reference image for that and how it appears.
Okay.
In the references tab.
I don't think I can pull that up on the stream necessarily, but
No,
I will get that for a future
players.
reference. But yeah, for the players that aren't as familiar with the world. So when you hear Spren, there's a bunch of different ones. There's also like wind Spren that just as wind blows by, there are little like sprites that fly through the air. And yeah, so that's basically it. So bandits has been called and the caravan is springing into action. So at this point, there's going to be some choices. So the four of you are all playing characters in this world, traveling along with this caravan for one reason or another. We'll work on that before the next session. I'll get details from you on that. But I am going to show you all this handout. So everybody has a choice. And that should have popped up on stream. It looks like it did. Perfect. I will center it a little bit better.
I got choices.
So your choices are, when you see the camp springing into action, you hear bandits. What is your character's first reaction? To search your gear to find something useful, check on other people who are ambushed by archers, grab a weapon and engage the spear infantry, or run towards the center of camp to find the Bright Lady Relenot. And again, this first session 0 adventure is very like choose your own adventure linear. Once we get into the Stonewalkers adventure, things open up a lot more, and things kind of open up towards the end of this as well, but this is going to be very like directed. You're picking choices to kind of guide yourself. So everybody decide what your character is doing in this situation, and we will proceed from there.
Torn on this one. I feel like one leads into the other.
Yeah, well, what just gut reaction, what is your character doing here of those 4 choices?
2 for sure.
2, okay.
I go to check on the people.
Guess more of one for me, so like kind of pulling on my own weapon type gear, just readying myself.
I would do the same.
Okay, yeah, do what Evan did if you can, and in the chat just put the number that you chose here.
Oh,
Foundry chat, or
yeah, okay. in Foundry, yeah, because that'll all show up on the stream so everyone can see. All right, we got 2 2s and 2 1s. Perfect. So search gear. I'm also making notes here so I have this for reference later on. And then checking on the injured. Cool. All right, so we're going to start with those who chose 1. So between the 2 of you, Hemal and Caputi, you pick up your weapon, or sorry, this is, oh, sorry, search gear. You quickly rummage through your gear and grab the first thing you find. What is it? And I have some options here, so hold on. Is this the one? Yeah, this one. Show players. Show observer. There you go. So your choices are: do you grab a weapon, a long distance communication tool called a span reed, which I'll explain in a second, a roll of tools, a small technological device called a fabrial, again I'll explain in a second, a document, or a medical kit. So a span reed, so I'll go fabrial first. A fabrial is basically this world's word for technology. They capture, spread, and use them to power devices. They have like special spheres that they use as power sources in these things, and they can do a variety of different things. One of which is the span reed, which is the option 2 device. And what span reed is it's 2 pens that are connected, and what you write with one translates to the other one. So it's a long range communication device, which is what the description says there, but that's how it works. So okay. What would your choice be here, the 2 of you? What do you grab from your gear?
I'm gonna go with my weapon, which would be a bow for me, but I don't know. Yeah,
we'll get to that in a second. I think there's more specifics in the next session here. So you grab a weapon, and again, just put your choice in the chat, please.
Got you.
I guess I don't know. I could see. I don't know what's on the other end of my span reed if I'm pulling out a span reed.
Well, that's part of the choice. Once you choose that, you'll then get to choose like who you're communicating with.
Ah, okay.
I think. Well, I guess we'll see when we get to that, because there's some options here. Yeah, so there's a choice for who sent the message, or who you're messaging with.
I like the idea of pulling out a document in response to bandits, so I might do that one.
Okay.
We have a right to be here.
Permission to shoot.
Yeah. Pull out our paperwork. I have papers.
All right.
I'm licensed to carry.
There's something funny about that we'll find out. We'll learn in just a second. But we're gonna go with the weapon first, since that's, again, it goes in order. So one choice goes first. So you pull out a weapon. You pick up your weapon. It's leather wrap grip fitting comfortably in your hands. Do you have a dagger, a short bow, hold on. Is this a shareable? No, it's not. Okay, so this I'll just read out. You already said what you wanted it to be, but I'll tell you what the choices are, at least. A dagger, a short bow, a short spear, or a side sword, which is basically just like a short sword that is like a military equipment. And you said you wanted a bow, correct?
Yeah, I'll go. Yep.
Okay, I gotta note something down here. I know we've already kind of talked about this, but I'll give you notes anyway. All right, so you pull out a short bow. Go to your character sheet, Caputi, please. And so hold on, let me pull it up on the stream too. On the right side, there's the little person symbol for actors, and then there's the PCs folder, and I have one in there for each of you with your names on them.
Yep.
under awareness, AWA, you get to add a +1 because of that choice. Or your awareness becomes 1.
Add a 1. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I'll explain all the stats and stuff when we get to it being relevant. But for now, you just add a 1. Hold on, everybody disappeared. How I have this set up is a little finicky. What just happened? Come on, come back. There we go. Cancel out of that. Okay. Sorry, I gotta make sure to go back to the chat here after I do that. And everybody's gone again. Why did everybody go away? All right, we're back. So you pull out a bow. How familiar are you with this weapon? The choices are you've trained for hours with this weapon. There's no better time than the present to put training to good use, or you need to put in more time.
How do I get back to that prompt? Because I can't. Or
that one's not one I shared. That's just one I've been reading. There's not a handout for this one.
Yeah, I accidentally closed out. Can you go through that again? Sorry.
Do you are you very familiar with this weapon after training for hours with it, or do you need to put in more work with it? It's just you're kind of new to it.
Very familiar.
Okay. All right. So because of that, you gain expertise with the bow. So to do that, hold on, I can.
Easy right choice.
Yeah.
I just picked it up.
Well, the other option would give you
yeah, probably more
a
balance.
goal. It gives you a goal, which
okay.
goals are a mechanic where like you can get rewards and stuff for completing them. So there's not a wrong choice. It's just different choices. So let me go to shoot. Where is the section for expertises?
I bet you the reward from that goal would have been expertise. So I feel like you
Potentially.
You did good here.
It's not unlikely. I'll be honest.
I was born an expert.
Where are the expertises here? Oh, I guess yeah. Well, all you have to do here, Kapudi, is on your character sheet for now. Go to where it says expertises on the left side.
Okay. Yep.
And click the little edit button, and there's a menu that pops up. So under weapon proficiencies towards the bottom, just check the box next to short bow.
I gotcha.
There you go. And again, I'll explain more about what expertise affords you later on, but for now, that's all that's important. Okay, so Kapudi, now that you're armed and ready, where are you headed? Your options are to repel the spear infantry who swarmed in from the east, to confront the archers firing down into the ravine from the west, or to rally the troops around you.
What was the first? Stop the
repel the
repelling?
spear infantry that have swarmed into the east.
Okay. And the people are sort of in the center, right?
The traders and the people, the non-combatants of the caravan are in the center, kind of surrounded by your defenses from this incoming group.
I guess I'll go towards the archers in the west then. Have a little firefight.
All right. So let me do this and do this.
This is a very intellectual decision. I'm gonna run at him with my papers.
Yeah, again, as you make choices, I am making some notes here. But...
Be here.
All right, so Kapudi,
you are trespassing.
So you get to add. Is it 2 ranks? Is that what this is saying? Hold on, let me double check that I'm understanding this right. Yeah, I guess so. So you get to add 2 ranks with either light or heavy weaponry. I believe a short bow is light weaponry. And I can actually add one of those to your inventory. So give me 1 second and I'll get that added for you. But you'll get that item and then you get to make a check for it. So add equipment, you have a short bow. So if you go to your equipment tab on your character sheet, on the right side is the little briefcase.
Yep.
You should have a short bow there now. It says, if you click on the name, it'll expand and give you the full stats for it. It is a light weapon. So you get a +2 to your light weaponry skill. So on the first sheet of your character sheet, next to light weaponry, there are check boxes, and you want to check both of the boxes next to light weaponry. So those are called ranks. When you make a check, the roll is the number of ranks you have in the skill plus the relevant attribute stat for the skill. So light weaponry is a speed based roll. So you add your speed, which is currently at 0, and then +2 for your ranks in the skill. At this level, you can't go above level or 2 ranks.
Okay.
But that's how that works. So now you get to make a short bow check.
Sweet.
Under your so under your equipment where your short bow was, if you click on the picture of the short bow, it will prompt you for a roll.
Let's do it.
First roll of the game. Oh, why did it roll? Shouldn't have rolled the d6 there. Oh no, that was the damage. Never mind. That's correct. That was the damage.
Oh.
Okay, so yeah, and that's another thing with this game. The way that advantage and disadvantage works is when you get an advantage, you get to pick which die it applies to. So you can roll 2 damage dice to take the higher one, but only roll one d20. But you can also have multiple instances of advantage or disadvantage. So if you have 2 advantage, you can roll 2 d20s and 2 d6s for the damage and take the higher of both. Advantage and disadvantages cancel each other out. So if you have 3 instances of disadvantage and 2 instances of advantage, you have 1 disadvantage. And the way disadvantage works is the person who is applying it gets to decide what die it is applied to. So like if one of my creatures gives you disadvantage, I could say, okay, you're rolling disadvantage on your damage for this next roll.
Gotcha.
But if you apply it to me, then you get to choose what die the disadvantage applies to. So typically when you roll an attack, you roll the attack die and the damage die at the same time.
Okay.
And in this case, you also roll add the relevant skill to the damage as well. So you roll the d20 and a d6, and then you add your light weaponry skill to both. So that's why you rolled a 6 on the d6, but it's an 8 would have been the total damage. However, long story short, a 7 fails the check here. So the arrows fall around you with increased fury. So as you run in and start firing arrows, you maybe get a couple hits on, but the onslaught just keeps coming. So what is your move to protect yourself when this onslaught happens?
Something I have to describe, or just give some options?
Okay. No, this is just this is just up to you.
Is there like a little area close by that I could just take cover?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you're in the middle of the camp that you had all set up for the night now. So there are, tents and carts and things set up. So you can definitely take cover behind some carts. So yeah, you run behind one of the wagons and hunker down a little bit, maybe pop out once in a while and take another additional shot or two, but don't make an appreciable difference based on that roll.
Maybe I'll start to shout out like forces are overwhelming.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Start calling out some just doing call outs to your allies and let them know what's happening is perfect. All right. And then, with that, you gain the item that you use. So I already added that to your inventory. So you have your short bow. All right. Sweet. So then we go back to the top for Hemal. So, for Sam. Nope. Yeah, for Hemal. I was right the first time.
Yeah, I think it's for me.
So Hemal goes for a span read, you said, right?
No, a document.
Oh, a document. Okay, sorry. Document. Okay.
Has a magical inscription on it that just throws down fireballs. It's a scroll.
Document is A5. Do I not have a thing for A5? No. Okay, so I can just read this one. Oh wait, no. Which one's the document? Yeah, it is A5, right? Sorry, I got lost in this.
Yes. A5.
A5, page 13. Okay, yeah, here we go. So, Hemal, right off the bat, you get to add a +1 to either your intellect or your awareness attribute scores.
Oh, all right. I do that. Here, intellect or awareness?
Yes. So INT or AWA.
I mean, it's not very awarenessful to go for a document when there are people running at you.
Unless you have a document
not
that's
very intelligent.
unless you have a document that's going to be helpful and you're aware or think quickly enough to know that that's going to help you in this situation.
Okay, we're gonna go with int, and we're gonna put 1 there.
Okay.
Oh wait, it didn't change it.
It might take us.
Oh, now I made it
went
10.
to
There you go.
There we go.
All right, so I added 1 to int. So you take out a small hogshead cylinder and look for a place to keep it safe. Do you ward off the crowd with raised fists, slip it into a boot and sprint through the tumult, or find a place to stash the cylinder in the chaos? We'll find out shortly why you're going for this document, but this is just...
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna find a place to stash it.
All right.
We're gonna do it. Find a place to stash it.
All right, so find a place to stash the cylinder. You get a +1 to your awareness.
Awesome.
And 2 ranks in perception.
Love that.
I went to 10 again. And 2 ranks in my perception.
Yes.
Ooh.
So another thing I'll explain right now is, as you can see on the sheet, and let me pull up a sheet on the stream just so that it's visible there too. I'll pull up Hemal sheet as an example. People keep disappearing. Stop doing that. I think I know why. I'll fix that in a second. But as you can see here, the there are three types of stats: physical stats, cognitive stats, and spiritual stats. In this world, there are 3 realms named the same: physical, cognitive, and spiritual. And each set of stats relates to a different portion of your being. So your physical stats, strength and speed, are fairly self-explanatory, I would think. Hold on, let me go to the attributes on here just so I can give you better definitions of some of these things and like what they affect. So your strength is your physical power, toughness, and athleticism. Similar to something like D&D. It's just like your raw physical strength, but also your constitution in this game. So like your hit points are based off of your strength, partially. Also like your carrying capacity and any of the stats that are based on your strength. Speed is your quickness and dexterity, your finesse and overall alacrity, your movement speed. So the higher your speed stat is, the higher your movement speed is going to be. And there are like tiers of it. So like a 0, a 1 to 2 does one amount, a 3 or 4 does the second amount, so on. Your intellect is your intelligence and wit represent your ability to store and recall knowledge and deduce facts. It also, once we are like concluding character creation, you'll get to choose expertise is like things that you're good in based on your intellect stat. Everyone will have a couple of base expertises, but the higher your intellect, you get more additional expertises on top of that. Your willpower is your determination and mental fortitude, represent your cognitive resilience, ability to enact your will on others, and your resistance to outside influence. That affects your recovery die, so the higher your willpower, the higher your recovery die, which is during rests, is how many hit points you regain, or focus, which is another like currency stat. And your focus is also based on your partially on your willpower. So the higher your willpower score, the more focus you get. Awareness is your wisdom and connection to the world around you, represents your ability to sense your surroundings and relate to others around you. So your senses. So the senses stat on your character sheet, like right now you should all be at 10, or most of you will be at 10 feet, or some of you will be at 5 feet. What that means is if your primary sense is completely cut off, so if you use your sight as your primary sense and you are blinded, you can still sense 5 or 10 feet around you, but no further than that. So that just allows for people to play with like a character who's blind but uses other senses as their main sense. They can still see, quote unquote, normally. But if that sense is then disturbed, their ability to sense around them is lessened as well. Your presence is basically like charisma. It's your charisma and bearing, your ability to influence others, build rapport, and reach masses. So a big thing that connection does is when you enter a new area for the first time, the higher your presence is, the easier it is for you to make connections and like meet new people and get allies. And that is the last of those stats. And then you also notice that between the stats, so like physical, strength and speed are under physical. So those are your physical stats. Your physical defense is 10 plus your strength plus your speed. So when enemies make an attack against you, they make it against your physical defense. If they're making a mental attack against you, it might be against your cognitive or your spiritual defense, depending on which stat they're using to attack with. That was a lot, but does that generally make sense?
Yep.
Cool. I mean, I'm fine to go over things again later as we get further in, but that's just the general gist of how that works. Okay, so let me see. And that was all. So you got your +2 to perception. All right, so now you need to make a perception check to look for a place to hide it.
Okay, so do I just click on perception?
Yes.
Yeah. Awareness. Roll.
Not one. Cool.
Oh.
Great start for all.
So
It looked like a 19 on my screen, to be fair. So
But he shook the table.
nothing in particular is going to come from this right now, but typically when you roll a 1, it is an auto fail, I think, in this game. But also you gain a complication. So complications are a thing to add a little bit of extra to the failure. So, you know, maybe you're looking for a place to hide it and you burst into a tent and, you know, run into an enemy that was looting the tent or something along those lines is how that would normally work. In this case, you just failed the check and you
can't find a place to hide it.
and as you're running around looking for a place to hide, some enemy soldiers break away from the fight to chase you. You eventually lose them, but they regroup to flank the caravan soldiers. So you don't find a good hiding spot for it, so this document is still on you. Now we get to decide, what does this document contain, Hemal?
Cool.
So the options for you are the location of informants in one of the war camps, trade secrets that must be delivered to a merchant at one of the war camps, scout reports and bandit activity in the unclaimed hills that must be delivered to the Colon patrols in the war camps, training and conflict reports from your city lord to a high prince in one of the war camps, the last letter of an ailing parent addressed to a soldier you trained with, that you can find in one of the war camps. There's a theme to all of these. Or schematics for a new type of war engine that must be delivered to an engineer at one of the war camps.
I would say either the schematics or the first one you said. What was it?
Locations of
spies?
informants. Yeah.
Of informants. What do you think is? I feel like either of those would be the reason I reach for that first. Probably informants.
Yeah.
Okay. Locations of informants. All right, cool.
Who's that getting delivered to?
Someone at the war camps, and we'll figure out who exactly. But right now it's just a general somebody. Or actually, yeah, it's locations of informants within the war camp, and yeah, we'll figure out who you're bringing that to. Eventually. Let me mark some things down here. Alrighty. Do you plan to honor your agreement or take advantage of your knowledge? The option 1 is you follow through with your obligations, or option 2 is you will take advantage of the opportunity.
Oh, well, if I went for it, I'm planning to follow through here. So I think we're gonna follow through. Yeah.
Alrighty, that works. So you gain a goal. So on your character sheet, there is
Oh, I chose wrong.
No, both of them give you goals. Both of them offer goals for this. So under there's the 4th tab down.
All right.
is the goals tab.
I see it.
So click add new goal. And
you have work to do.
yeah, exactly. You get work.
I gave myself a freaking job.
The goal is I will deliver the document I carry as required of me.
Okay.
I will copy paste that. I just pasted it in so you can copy it.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Oh no, we lost Sam. Or sorry, we lost Caputi, and everybody's faces changed places.
Oh, sorry. Did I miss? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm also like half eating dinner real quick. So.
Yeah, when you for some reason when you turn off the camera, it switches the order of everybody, and I don't know why.
Oh God. All right, I'll be back quick.
Okay.
Delivery.
So the way goals work in this game is they are a measurable thing that you can complete, and then when you complete it, you get a reward. You can have basically any number of goals throughout the course of the adventure, and when you complete it, you get either like a title or land or a weapon or money or something, a new patron that can support you. I mean, not for this specific, not for this one specifically, but certain goals could give you potential land. Yeah. And basically they're measured in like 3 chunks. So as you make progress towards it, you'll put check marks in it. And then once you get the 3rd check mark, that means that the goal has been completed to a good degree.
Okay.
So in your equipment, Hemal, and this is something you'll have to add manually because I don't have a thing to drag and drop into your thing, but under loot, you have a hog's hide cylinder with document. And that is the end of Hemal's intro. So we will go back to the other 2
documents.
Sorry, you guys have just been sitting, but we're getting back now. It's your turn. So, Evan and Sam, as this chaos erupts, you both run and search for people who were injured in the ambush here.
Yes. That's what I said.
Yeah, it sure is. It was like 30 minutes ago, so you know, just had to remind. Some merchants who joined the caravan for protection only yesterday now lie pinned to the ground, their bodies riddled with arrows fletched with brown and red. The question here is, and you guys get to just choose whether you do or not, and this will just determine some of your history knowledge. Do you recognize the colors on the arrows?
Jesus Christ, kitten. Brown and red?
Brown and red, yes.
I'm gonna say I don't.
Okay.
But I think my guy might.
Okay, so for the 2 of you then, both of you open your character sheets, and then in the bottom left where it says expertises, I guess it's like 2/3 of the way down on the left side.
Tab page 1.
On the front page. Actually, it's on all the pages.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
It's persistent. So click on that. Evan, you gain Alethi expertise under the cultural expertises. And Sam, you gain another cultural expertise of your choice. If you don't want to choose that now, just make note of it, and then you and I can discuss what you might have based on what your character ends up being.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay, so just make a note that you have Alethi expertise, or that you have a to be chosen cultural expertise. I mean, I'm just making a note here myself. Evan, your character recognizes those colors as the colors of High Prince Thanadol.
Thanadol. Okay.
And you guys, like as I said, you're traveling with the Colon caravan right now, so you got like the blue. Is it blue and gold? It's at least blue.
Blue and silver, I think.
Blue and silver. Okay.
No, I think it's gold.
Either way, blue of some sort. All right, so and then so as you approach, you see these arrows. Evan, you recognize them. Packages once held so dear lie scattered, their contents spilled across the dirt. One of the merchants, a Thalen woman, lies on her side, coughing blood into her bright orange dress. Help me, she says desperately, blood trickling from the corner of her mouth. Violet fear spray and globules wriggle around the arrow lodged in her back. Before you can act, a voice yells from the ridgetop, "Archers, ready!" And hold on, I actually think I have something I can switch to here. Is this what I wanted? Yeah, I should have switched to this earlier. Let me do this now. And I will move this. All right. So there was just a picture to go along with this ambush thing. All right. So you hear this, you see this woman laying on the ground. Is your character's choice to A, help the woman, B, grab whatever spilled onto the ground and run before you're the next target, or 3, attempt to ascend the ravine wall to outflank the archers?
I'd probably try to help the woman.
Okay. Sam?
Give me my options again.
Help the injured woman, grab whatever spilled on the ground and run before the archers get you, or try to ascend the ravine wall to flank the archers.
Let's do some climbing.
All right, so we're gonna go with
I'm
Evan
gonna
first.
ascend the ravine wall.
Sounds good. We will go to Evan first then. All right, Evan. So, E1. You rush to the woman's side and try to help her. You have 2 options here. Tend to her wounds or sit close and spend her last moments with her.
Oh, jeez.
Oh shit.
Basically, do you think your character would have the skills to heal her, or do they not, but they're compassionate and want to help ease her death?
Option 3, put her out of her misery.
Jesus. No, a little bit of me wants to metagame, but I'm not going to. But I think because I'm still going based off of my last character, I think he would try to help her.
Okay.
Tend to the wounds.
All right. So, you get a +2 to your medicine skill. So 2 ranks in medicine.
Okay, so that goes back from 5 to 2. Right? That's how that works.
Well,
because I still have the old character sheet up.
Well, use the new character sheet in Foundry.
Where is that? Oh my god.
That's where you should put your expertise and stuff too.
That makes sense.
So under the actors tab on the right side, your name is there.
Yep, I see that. Okay, so that goes into medical.
Medicine, yeah. And then make sure your expertise is, you add your Alethi expertise.
Yes.
The cameras are back in order. Let's go.
Hell yeah! I was scared I would go in reverse order. Okay.
Okay. So, and then with that, you get to make a medicine test, Evan. So just click on medicine on your character sheet. You have to make sure, yeah, you check the boxes first.
Like that? That's how I adjust the ranks in this?
Yep.
This UI?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Okay, cool. The T's on that 20 though.
Ebba's a 10, which is a success. So the first success of the night. I will also say in the other group that I've run through this, 2 people came to this woman's aid and she died. So the checks were failed in that situation.
Oh god.
So with that success, you drag the woman into cover before treating her wounds to get out of the way of the archers taking aim. Working as quickly and efficiently as possible, given the hail of enemy fire you're under, she looks to you as if she'll survive. but she's quickly losing consciousness. So she will live, but she is currently out cold, recovering.
That's okay.
But as she is going, as you see her kind of fading to sleep, she moves her lips as if to speak, but her exhaustion overcomes her. She presses something into your hand before her eyes close. What does she give you? A whetstone, a small notebook, a medal of valor marked with a rank and insignia, a glass vial with a single dose of a weak poison inside. Wrapped around the vial is a strip of paper with writing on it, or sorry, there's actually two more options: a finely crafted span reed, or a fully infused topaz brome worth 20 marks.
I think we should always just choose the span reeds from now on.
Just have a collection of pens.
We'll just get a collection of span reeds.
I get to decide what she gives me?
Yeah.
What were my options again?
A whetstone,
The span reed, a whetstone,
a notebook, a medal of valor, or a vial of poison with a note wrapped around it.
Notebook. It's tough.
This is not the kind of choice I was mentally prepared for.
Background development.
I ended up choosing document.
I was about to say notebook, so notebook.
You take the notebook. All right.
Yeah.
If you weren't prepared for that, you're going to be unprepared for this as well. What are the notes about?
Write a 500 word essay.
Alethi noble families, Azish law, Herdazian recipes, natural history, or Vorinism. Vorinism being, I know Evan knows this, but the main religion in this part of the world.
Religion.
What was the first one?
And
Alethi
notes on it.
noble families.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah, notes on the nobility. Fuck. Probably that one.
All right. Notes on Alethi noble families. And just to explain one more of the options here for those who aren't familiar, because again, I know Evan is. A topaz brome worth 20 marks. That is money. So chips, marks, and bromes are the three denominations of spheres, which is the money. They're glass spheres with gems in the middle with like slightly flattened bottoms so that they don't roll all over the place. They're also used to like power light sources and things. But in this game, everything's going to be translated to marks, which is the middle denomination. And they're also worth differing amounts based on the gem inside. So like a diamond brome is going to be worth a different amount than a topaz brome. But everything will be transferred into marks as far as just keeping track of what money you have. So just a little bit of extra lore here. So Evan, in your equipment on your items for your sheet, go to your loot or equipment, depending on where you want to put it. But I think equipment is more for like, actually that might be a good place for it. Either way, go wherever you want to add it. Add the notebook with, and just add that it has names of Alethi or info on Alethi noble families.
In my character sheet?
Yes. So the briefcase tab on the right side is your equipment, and then you can add equipment there.
Oh, okay.
And I think that is it. Wait, is there another choice here for you? Oh yeah. So, all right. So after healing the woman, you get her to a safe place. As you make your way back to the center of camp, do you scavenge a piece of weapon or crate to use as a makeshift shield? Move carefully and quietly from the cover to cover, avoiding attention as much as you can. Listen to battle calls from the attackers and deduce the safest route. Gather a group of survivors around you and shepherd them to safety.
Use human shields.
Put a storming righteous fear into anyone foolish enough to cross your paths. Or watch the colon caravan soldiers and civilian movements, finding the right opportunities to slip through the lines of an engagement. It's a lot of options, I'm sorry, and I don't have a a thing to share with you with the details for some reason.
I know this isn't your fault. Hemal and Caputi got that awesome sheet of choice 1A.
I know this one doesn't have that for some reason. I can't like share a screenshot of what I have.
There are some coming from me.
Yeah, we'll see. So again, basically, grabbing a weapon or a piece of wagon or crate to use as a shield. Just moving slightly from cover. Okay, so there are a couple slippery options. Do you just move quietly from cover to cover, or watch the caravan movements to find a way to slip through without being seen?
Watch the movements to slip through.
Okay, so I mean, and this isn't a roll or anything. This was just to get some ideas. So you are able to do that. You stand back a little bit and just observe the movements, and you get a +1 to your awareness attribute.
That's up there. Okay.
All right, and then last but not least, Sam, it's your turn for some choices. So you climb the wall of the ravine to try to outflank. So clinging to the near, you get a +1 to either your speed or your strength.
Let me do that. So you're saying I just change it again?
Just put a 1.
0 to 1.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Speed. Got it. So clinging to the near vertical walls of the ravine, you avoid the keen eyes of the archers above you. You crest the ridge and slide over to a rocky outcrop. From your vantage point, you can see the archers aiming into the ravine, arrows knocked. Wait for stragglers, men. The soldier in command mutters to his troops in a low voice. Pick them off one by one. You have 3 options here, and I don't have a thing to share with you.
That's okay. I'm gonna write it down.
That works. Improvise a melee weapon, then leap at the archers and attempt to take them down in close quarters combat. Option 2. Buy the caravan guards some time by picking up a rock and throwing it far away from you in hopes that the archers fire at the sound. Or stay hidden until a better opportunity presents itself.
I'm gonna fight.
All right.
The close quarters combat improvised melee weapon. Let's do it.
Option 1 sounds like a plan.
All right, hell yeah.
You get to add a +2 to either light weaponry or heavy weaponry, and decide.
And that's an expertise, right?
No, that's just on your sheet.
Oh, you know what? I see it.
Yeah. So you just click the 2 circles next to either heavy or light weaponry. Light weaponry. All right, and just for flavor here, what do you pick up and like what weapon are you approximating here? There's no actual weapons up here, but like you pick up a big piece of wood and use it as a club or something like that.
Not like a big piece of wood, because I chose light weaponry, but I'm thinking just like I don't know, what medium
document.
length a document, yeah.
The pen is mightier than the sword. You need a span reed.
Yeah. What I had in my mind was I'm climbing to the top.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's like some brush up there. There's like some dead wood. I pick up like a medium length stick and just start swinging it.
Sure. All right. Then you make it a light weaponry attack.
Okay.
And by the way, I'll explain
I
know when you click on checks, a box pops up asking you things. I'll explain what that means in a bit, but right now we don't need. It's just straight check. So you just click that and hit roll. I should have explained that after the first person rolled, but I just thought about it.
Okay, so I click light weaponry.
Yep, and then just hit roll at the bottom.
And then just roll.
Oh!
Hey, let's go.
Well,
let's go. Sorry, Hemal.
We got nat 1 and a nat 20 in the process here. That's great.
We got the exact opposite.
Forms into a
That's great.
perfect spear as you.
I mean,
plunge
the
it
first
into
set
it.
of rolls, it's crazy that we get the full spectrum.
That's really funny. We got a failure, a success, a critical failure, and a critical success.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
so you climb up, and these guards are all very focused on their commander, listening to him and waiting for the call, and then they focus down on the troops below, and they do not hear you coming, and you sneak up, and I'd say you walk up. Well, how do you want to do this? What's your tactic here? So you succeed pretty well.
Actually, we're okay. So we're up on the top of this cliff, right?
Yes.
Looking
like
down
the
into
side. You climbed up one of the sides of the ravine. Yeah.
I'm thinking I do like a Leonidas in 300, where I just like kick one off and then just start,
Yeah, I'd say
I knew it was good when you said we're at the top of a cliff.
this is a good start to a thought there. So you walk up and Spartan kick the commander, who revealed himself by giving orders, off of the side of this ravine, or into the ravine.
Yeah.
And then in the shock, you manage to take your improvised club and smack another one of the archers off, and he loses his balance and falls into the ravine as well.
I love that.
There's a couple more archers here, and there are other archers around the outside, but you get one of the groups kind of weakened here. The others sort of break off. Maybe one or two stay and fight, but you're able to fight them off, and the others retreat to one of the other groupings of archers. Let's see here. So now with the other archers in between volleys here, are you going to with the ledge sort of vacated where you are specifically? I have a bunch of choices here, so get ready to write some down.
Okay. All right.
Are you going to search for valuables left up here? Carve a glyph word to the Almighty in the dirt, invoke the passions, or make some other religious gesture. So glyph words essentially are like physical things that you write and then burn. The Almighty is basically God, and they burn glyph words as like, asking for luck, or you write something and burn it to send it to God. The passions is another religion. So basically, to make a religious gesture should be what this is.
Sure.
Search for more enemies to remove from the fighting. Look for a group of soldiers to join. Your soldiers on your side, not defect to the enemies. Look for a group of soldiers to lead, or take stock of the ambush and try to reason out their tactics.
Okay, so search for valuables, the religious gesture, see if I can find more enemies, look for other soldiers that I can meet up with, look for soldiers to call to meet up with me, or take a second
and just observe the fight to see if you can work out a pattern of what's going on.
Those are my 6 options?
Yes.
Okay.
What are you thinking?
I'm going to look for soldiers to lead.
Okay.
So that I can continue my assault with them.
Sounds good. I think after that, it'll be pretty easy to find people to join you, but we'll see. Let's see. Search for soldiers to lead. So you get to add a goal.
Okay.
You also get work.
Where is that? Oh, goal. I
just sent it to the chat, so you should see the wording for it. Your goal is to lead survivors safely to the war camps. And you also get to add a +1 to your presence score. As hearing this soldier yell out in fear as you kick him off, and then the second one following, and then seeing the rest of the group run off. Some other soldiers down below, and maybe 1 or 2 that had come up to sort of fight off up top, see you, and you call for aid, and they all, without much fight at all, come rally to you to join the fray here. All right, and with that is the end of part 1. The beginning of this ambush. So here we're gonna do one of those mechanics checkpoints where we stop, look at what you guys have, and add a little bit more. So no attribute score can be raised above 3 at character creation. I don't think any of you got more than a 1 or 2.
Mhm.
But now players should add attributes until they have a total of 9. So no score can be above 3, but you want to have 9 points total between your 6 stats. Not ranks
Is
and
that
skills,
after
but
I've added my 2?
no, total.
From
Total, including what you added during this little excursion.
So 9 in total. Okay.
Okay. Can you
so I
repeat
get
that?
2 less than the other guys because I got things from this thing.
Well, Sam also has, I think everybody got at least 1 point from their options. Sam, you're going to add points to your strength, speed, int, willpower, I know, awareness, and presence until you have 9 points spread between the 6 stats.
Those 6. Okay.
And nothing can be above a 3.
Including the 2 that I already had.
Yes.
So,
So
I had
you
7
have
more.
2 now. You had 7 more.
Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty. So we're all distributed. One thing I forgot to mention with Sam's role, and again, similar to Hemel's, where I didn't really apply it right now, but in the future, your critical success. That blue symbol there means you got an opportunity with it. So typically what that means is you'll get something additional on top of what you were already doing. In a lot of cases, like with combat, you can recover focus, which again is a currency, quote unquote, a meta currency that you spend to activate abilities and stuff. Or you can spend an opportunity to do a critical hit. Like if you roll an attack and get an opportunity, you can make it into a critical hit. But there's a whole slew of different things that can happen. There's a bunch of different types of encounters. So you can have combat encounters, there's conversations, and endeavors are the 3 main types. And opportunities can be used for different things based on the context that you get it in. Like obviously if you're in a conversation, you're not going to do a critical hit with a weapon most of the time.
Critical hit with my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and sometimes, yes, it will translate to, your opponent in the conversation losing focus or something like that. But that's kind of the equivalent of a crit in that situation. All right, but we are past the checkpoint. So the next leg here is back to the combat here. Despite the initial shock of the ambush, the soldiers of House Colon are well trained. The remaining troops form a tight line, recollecting themselves and surging forward like a storm wall crashing into the ambushers. The storm wall, those high storms I described earlier, the storm wall is the front of the high storm, so like where the brunt of the damage is done. So this is just relating it to that. Reorganized and reinvigorated, the tide of battle shifts in favor of the blue-clad Colon troops, and their enemies waver. Cheers go up among the Colon caravan soldiers, their spirits buoyed as they mount a defense. This is another decision for all of you to make. I do have a sheet here that I can share with you so you can see the choices.
How do I pull that back up?
I just shared it with you.
Oh,
because this is a
never
different
mind.
sheet.
Okay.
So your choices are say inspiring words to the troops, take the injured to cover for safety, take the injured to cover for safety. I said that weird. Loot the fallen attackers for valuables, rally troops and push forward to break the spirit of the attackers, step in the way of an attacker to try and skewer step in the way of an attacker trying to skewer a Colon caravan soldier, or check fallen enemies to make sure they aren't preparing a trap. And let's go in reverse order of how we resolved. Well, no, you can put it here, but we'll resolve them in reverse order.
Yeah, okay.
So Sam will go first here. So Sam picks number 4. So you're rallying the troops and pushing forward to break the spirit of the attackers.
Yeah.
Oh, good. There's no duplicates here too, so that'll be good. Yeah, okay. Make a leadership test, Sam.
Okay. Where is that?
It's with your skills, with like the light weaponry and stuff.
Oh, I just can't read.
He was elected to lead, not to read.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh.
and the pendulum swings.
Welcome.
Yikes.
Welcome.
Can't just let us have nice things.
It's not me, it's the dice. All right, Sam, do you want to narrate what you're doing and why it doesn't work as you were hoping it to?
Yeah. So so I'm like still riding high, so to speak, from what I did up on top of the ravine, right? And I'm gathered in front of these soldiers, and I say, "Listen up!" And I start like speaking to them, and I'm like giving them a speech, and then I step up onto the stump of a tree that has been cut down, and just so that everybody can see me, right? But I'm getting like maybe a little bit too into it, and I am like walking around on this tree stump, and I fall off.
And you're giving this rousing speech, and a few people are listening, and then there are others that are trying to hold this line that's currently forming. And as you're doing this, you see some of the soldiers at the front of the line are starting to fall and push back as the enemy is just surging with this refound vigor that they have. All right.
I imagine it was right as you were trying to say, "We will succeed," and you say, "We will suck," and then you fall.
This is bad time.
All right. Yeah. I believe, Evan, you were second to last time, right?
Yes.
All right. So you're choosing option number 2. Yes. Unsurprisingly, rushing to the injured to take them to safety. Roll a medicine test again.
Nice.
Where did that go?
Oh. Why do I have 2 out of 3 focus?
Because you increased the attribute score that determines focus.
No!
Another one. What the hell is going on here?
This is insane.
This is wild.
Wild.
There's been so many crits in both directions here.
Can we fail session 0?
No. Thankfully, no, you
We're gonna
can't.
find out.
This is all just all
The defenses fall.
creation, right? Nobody's dying.
Right, pretty much. There's actually a TTRPG, I've not played it, but I hear about it a lot, called Traveler, where you can literally die during character creation.
Oh god.
That's pretty funny.
All right, so Evan, would you like to narrate what happens here and how your failure shows itself?
I guess I'm in the fray because that's where I was initially, and I find a couple people there. I'm like, all right, I think if we go this way, we'll be able to get out of here safely. Like the enemy seems to be over here. Let's head that way. And as I point, and 1 or 2 of them start to move that way, just a couple arrows fly overhead and hit them.
Okay.
And I just go,
I don't think I meant the other way.
not that way. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and after the couple of people that started to move when you were yelling out fell, a few of them break off in terror and like run and kind of get lost in the fray. You do manage to get a couple of them to safety, but you do lose 2 or 3 to arrows, a couple more to just fear. And there are other healers that are trying to wrangle people, but just the ones in your care didn't fare so well in this scenario. All right, Hemal, you went second, yes? Or did Caputi go second?
I
think you went first. Yeah,
right?
so Hemal.
Yeah, I went first.
Yeah, I think so.
You picked option 6. So you're
I'm checking those fallen enemies. Yeah, because I got chased away, right? So I'm just kind of making my way back, and I'll check bodies of people along the way.
All right, cool. Make an insight test.
There it is.
If you roll a 1, I swear to God. All right.
Okay.
12.
That's pretty good.
That is a success.
12.
12 is a
Nice.
success. That was the DC for this. So, yeah, narrate. You succeed in. So what do you just explain what you're doing here? To like what you're looking at, what kind of things you're trying to find.
I'm looking for anything with orders on it. Like this is like an organized troop of soldiers that are coming in here and assaulting this. Like they've got to have orders or commands. I'm looking for anything written out on these bodies.
Okay. That I will actually get back to in a second then. We're going to do Caputi's first, and then I'll get back to that. So Caputi, you chose option number 5. Step in the way of an attacker trying to skewer a caravan soldier. Make a light or heavy weaponry test, your choice. I think light is what you picked before.
Oh, thank God, because I am not a strong boy by any means. Okay, here we go.
21. All right. Let's see. This is.
Do we not
5.
have a strong boy? Did none of us take strength?
I don't know if any of us are strong.
I think we're all weak boys. Great.
I
have 1.
I'm a 0.
There are
Okay,
ways
there
to
you
fix that.
I'm a 0.
Also, like I said, you'll be getting a few more attribute points in a little bit to add, so you might be able to bump that up a little bit. All right, Caputi, that is a resounding success. Would you like to explain how this encounter goes down? There's a soldier currently spear in hand, thrusting it towards some of the Colon soldiers, and you see one of them is he was maybe knocked back by an enemy shield and is currently being stood over by one of these soldiers with the spear.
Yeah, so I'm gonna jump back because I was in cover. I'm not strong at all, but I'm super nimble and quick. I'm gonna jump out of cover, maybe jump over some things, some of the fallen enemies, kind of like, jumping all around. I see this
Jump around.
Jump around. See my fallen comrade push down. I'm gonna do this like cool slide, maybe in the mud or something, like on my knees and then pull my bow upwards, short bow upwards, and then release on kind of like close to the chest on the enemy.
Awesome. Yeah, that's pretty much all that needs to be described. I think you run up and you slide. Close ranged arrow, point blank, right in the heart. You knock this enemy out. The spear stops a few inches from the chest of the soldier that it was going towards, and the soldier scrambles back, stands up, gives you a quick thanks, and then heads back into the fray.
Cool. I'll shoot him and like grab the spear right before it plunges into. Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool.
All right, Hemal, back to you.
Another goal.
Yeah, more work. No, so you are walking around, you're kind of patting down some of the enemy soldiers that are following the pockets, looking for orders. You find someone who's wearing like a more you recognize the higher ranking of this soldier's uniform, and you do find a thing. Now, the thing about this world is men in general do not know how to read. It is considered a female art, and women read and men do not. However, some men are able to understand. They have a glyph system that they use for like military orders and stuff, and that's what this note would be written in. So you probably have some passing knowledge of these military glyphs, and the only thing that these orders get across is push them back into the ravine, hold them until the Bright Lord arrives. And actually, let me make notes. I forgot to note down Caputi's stuff. And Hemal is searching.
And is there like a stamp or a sigil or something on it?
Probably not. No, it's probably just a piece of paper with just those glyphs written on it with what I gave you. But
Got it.
at that moment, you see things start to change a little bit in the fight. Above the din, a wordless battle cry rings across the chasm. All eyes turn to see an imposing figure clad in black armor standing at the ravine's southern end. A wicked blade coalesces from thin air in their hand, and the ground around their feet bubble with anger spread. They bellow once more, launching themselves through the air. Their hulking form blots out what remains of the daylight as they land amid the remaining Colon caravan soldiers, scattering them like Kremlings before a chasm fiend. The warriors stalked forward with supreme confidence, their blade passing effortlessly through bodies. Corpses with smoking eyes litter the ground. The Colon caravan soldiers stand no chance against a full shard bearer in all their stormborn glory. And this will require a little more explanation for what the hell any of that means. But I did just share another picture. of what you all see here, describe what I just described. So going down the list here, this armor that you see, this black armor, is shard plate is what it is known as in this world. It is a very expensive, very rare form of defense, owned by basically only nobles and, you know, people who have had it passed down through lineages, things of that nature. It's sometimes awarded to victors in, you know, duels as rewards, and you know, people put them up for in bets and things like that for like high princes to get between each other or to higher nobles. It enhances strength and speed, which is how he was able to just like leap through the air and land in the middle of the fray without taking damage. The sword is called a shard blade, similarly rare, whereas like passed down through families or won in contests between highly ranking people. They do not leave physical damage, aside from the fact that they will kill a person in one swing and leaves the eyes smoking in their sockets, and that's the only evidence it leaves behind of an attack from a shard blade. More minor things that I talked about, Kremlings and chasm fiends are more of these like crustacean-like creatures. Kremlings are little bugs that form. Krem is like clay or mud or silt that is formed after a high storm, and Kremlings are just little bugs that like live around and, you know, eat that kind of stuff and just are little like, just like bugs. Chasm fiends on the opposite side of the spectrum are very large crab-like behemoths that have very hard, thick carapaces and are devastating in fights. But those aren't here. They were just referenced, so I wanted to let you know what that was. And I think that's all I need to mention from that description. But overall, this is what you see. And the man in the picture here in the black armor is what you all are seeing. So, initial reactions here when this happens. Some more choices. Let me see, is this the right one? Yeah. There's another sheet that's going to be shared with you in a second with some options.
So is he like a magic man?
He's just
Or
a
is he
very
just,
formidable.
Like, has he done magic?
No, but basically, shard plate and shard blades are sort of like magic weapons and magic armor, but he hasn't done any magic himself.
Got it.
So these are your options. So when you see this happen in the middle of the fight, is your instinct to run for cover given the shift in battle, knock an arrow to launch an attack despite the odds, try to identify who this new opponent might be, tend to the wounded despite the danger, or call out for the remaining Colon caravan soldiers to form on you?
So he launched his attack against our.
Yes, he leapt into the middle, into the ravine, into the middle of the Colon forces. Is currently swinging his shard blade around.
Am I intelligent? Let me double check.
That'd be a 1 for me, dog.
I might not be. Somewhat.
And it's not so much intelligence, maybe, as like cultural knowledge.
Yeah, fair enough. I got some.
I mean, it will require an intelligence-based check in this case, but that's not always going to be the case. All right. Well, the others think of what they're doing. Caputi, we'll start with you since you were the first to respond. Trying to identify this new opponent. Okay, so let's see. Making some notes here. That one. And this one.
It's the Bright. What was it? What is his name? Bright
Lord.
Bright.
Yeah, it said to hold them until the Bright Lord arrives, is what the note said.
Bright Lord. I nailed it first time.
You were close. You were close. All right, Caputi, you get to make a lore test.
Oh, intelligence based.
Like I said, it is intelligence in this case, but it won't necessarily always be.
No.
4. Unfortunately, those shard bearers are rare and storied. You're not certain who this is, so you look at this black armor and like there's documentation and notes on who owns all the shard blades have specific appearances that are, you know, known and recorded. Shard plate is the same, like the coloration and the specific appearance of it is unique and documented somewhere, but off the top of your head, this one does not ring a bell to you.
Okay.
Let me make a note. Hemal, you're next, right?
Yeah, I'm running.
Also, Sam and Evan, if you want to put your choices in the chat, please.
Yeah.
Whenever you make
I
them.
have a map to all of our spies on me. I can't.
Well, no.
Got it.
You have a map of spies that have infiltrated your camp, is what you have.
Oh, yeah.
Also
yeah.
pretty important.
I mean, yeah, that's
think,
important
though.
too.
Yeah.
But I think that's what the gist of what that was.
Informants.
Okay, I misunderstood. I thought I had a list
Or
of
no-
like.
Or is it the
I
other way?
assumed it
already
was
guys in
enemy
the field.
informants that are living in your camp, is what I took from that.
Okay, well that's still super freaking
Yeah,
important.
no, that's important too.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want to have that.
It might be the other way around where you have a list of
I don't
people.
want to not have that get to where it needs to go. So
Yeah,
that's,
we
that's
can work
more of
out
what it
which
is.
way it is, but it's one of those two options, both of which are equally important.
Yes.
All right, so you're running for cover.
It's more about whether I'm trying to keep it out of his hands or if I just need to stay alive to get there to make sure this gets to where it goes.
Sure. And you don't have to make a check. So just explain what you're doing, looking for cover. Like, where do you hide? If you go hide, no one's gonna come for you. They're going after the fighters right now. So
Okay. I don't know. I'm in like this.
there's still
Why don't
wagons
I
and
just
tents and
run
stuff
back
around.
the
There's
way- I'm gonna run back the way that those guys initially chased me, and I lost them.
okay. So we'll run back towards where your stuff in the camp is right now, which is
Yes,
currently not
yeah.
part of the main attack. That's cool. That works.
Yeah.
All right. Then Evan is a 4. So you're tending the wounded despite the danger. So the people that you managed to get to safety in that last check, you are able to just get them to a safe spot away from the fighting. Like I said with Hemal, they're not really going after the non-combatants right now.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like with the notebook I got, I could do 3, but I don't think my character would understand the purpose of doing that right now.
Also, can he read? Because I mean, it's not it's a decision we'll make with the character creation, but depending on if you're Vorin, there's a big chance you might not be able to read. All right, but that's fine, and we will. Plus, we know what's in that notebook, but your character probably hasn't had time to flip through it to see what's actually in the book yet.
Very fair.
All right, and then Sam, last but not least, calling out for the remaining troops to form on you. And again, you don't have to make a check. Kaputi's the only one that picked a thing that needed a check. So just explain after your great success up on the ravine and then your great failure down on the tree stump. Explain how you kind of even that out to get some forces on you.
Yeah, I'm going 2 for 3. I'm hoping, and that's my mindset on it. So maybe there's like I'm saying the right words. Maybe there's like a little bit of like a voice crack or two. But I call out for the remaining Colon soldiers and just kind of see where that gets me.
Right? Yeah, and I'd say honestly, failing the last one and falling kind of ingratiates you to these soldiers a little bit. Like you're not above them. They kind of laugh at you. You take it well, so they kind of. And then a couple of them saw what you did, so we're already on your side. And I think you're able to rally these guys up successfully and get a good group together. Also, it's funny, the way you phrase that with saying the words is pretty funny. Evan knows why. Also, there is an adventure in this game, or like one of the published adventures, which is called Speak the Words, which is a important theme in this setting, which you will learn about later on. But that phrasing is pretty funny.
Yeah, no, that phrasing is great.
Perfect.
All right, so that is your reactions to seeing this hulking form leap into the battle. Some of you run for safety, some of you protect the wounded, and some of you survey the battlefield and try to regroup the fighters.
Yeah, we're ready.
To your side. Yeah. So after your
I'm ready back here.
after your initial reactions are processed, the armored warrior leaps once again, shard blade pointed skyward, their shard plate propelling them towards their destination, a rough-hewn wall built atop the cliff at the northern edge of the canyon. They slash downward in a vicious arc, cutting through the wooden wall with a single stroke. A low rumble quickly becomes a cacophony as huge stones crash into the gorge. Run! Someone yells. Without mercy, rocks pulverize the caravan's last defenders. Painspren erupt from the ground, latching onto any Colin caravan soldiers who did not perish in the brutal trap. Unfortunately, all 4 of you were crushed in the rock trap, and we finished the adventure. Rocks fall, everybody dies. No.
But at least I looked cool.
Yeah, you had the soldiers on your side at the end, right? No.
I got my documents.
I got 1 kill.
At least they're buried in the rock, and nobody will find them. No, so, and something else about shard blades that I should have mentioned is while they leave no physical trace when they slash through human beings, inanimate objects, they cut through and shear them apart. So it can cut through stone and just cut it in half, which is essentially what he did here with the blade, is like cut a wooden protection and through the stone.
What they're made of?
No.
I do.
Oh, okay.
Your characters would not know. Yeah. Lore wise, yes, me and Evan do, but no.
I don't think anybody in the world does at this point.
No, I don't think so either. Word of Brandon, which is things that the author has said outside of the books that is canon to the world. All right, so with that situation going, there's one more choice here to make, and you will have another list that I can present to you. It's just some of that middle stuff that it doesn't give me lists for one reason or another. But you are able to now choose after the rocks tumble and block off the exit here. Do you drag fallen members or a fallen merchant out of harm's way, focus on escaping despite the many injured people around you, sacrifice your own safety to cover a wounded soldier who is about to get trampled in the chaos, or call out the panicked survivors and lead them to safety? I almost read that as pancaked. But no, the panicked soldiers. Call out to the panicked soldiers and lead them to safety. What would you like to do?
Have the enemy soldiers gone away entirely?
Yes. Basically, the one left in where you guys are in the ravine are either squished enemies or your people. Some of the other groups people got squished in the rockfall as well, but most of them were on the other side towards the exit to the ravine. So there are currently no more enemies within reach of you. And
Okay.
what are the ones that are left are being finished off by other soldiers. All right. We'll just go top to bottom again then. Evan. We'll do Evan and Sen since you both did 4s. So both of you call out to survivors and lead them to safety. I think in this situation, it makes more sense that Evan is going for some of the people injured in the rockfall and gathering together. Sam, you're rallying some of the troops that are still surviving here and kind of gathering your individual groups and bringing them to safety.
Yes.
I have a goal to work towards.
You do. And I will actually say that probably would allow you to check off one of your progress points towards your goal.
Hey. Just one?
Yes, just check one of the boxes.
Okay.
Alrighty. Caputi picked number 3. So yeah, it would just describe like what you're doing in this scenario then. As you know, some rocks are still falling a little bit, and there are people kind of spread out among the wreckage here.
Yeah, I guess just trying to pull him to safety with the risk of me getting hit by some of the rocks coming down.
Sure.
Pulling him behind cover.
All right, yeah.
Behind cover.
And I would say that you do probably take a few like smallish like gravel or maybe some like fist-sized pieces of stone fall on you and do a little bit of damage, but nothing lasting in this situation. Things that you will recover from pretty quickly. And then lastly, Hemal, fallen merchant. Is there any particular reason why you chose this merchant? Did you see something on them, or is it just you saw somebody in danger and wanted to assist them?
It was more to help somebody who was not a soldier in case there were other enemy soldiers still around, so that they thought I was a civilian.
Gotcha. Cool. So stay away from the combatants as much as possible.
Yes.
Cool. Makes sense.
But if he's got nice things, that's also cool. I take it.
And then
trade your stuff for your health.
Alrighty. And now with the trap sprung to deadly effect and the caravan boxed in, neither the enemy shardbearer nor their troops stay to witness the attack's aftermath, callously abandoning any survivors to their fate. Only faint moans and fretful clicks are heard now, a stark contrast to the recent tumult of combat. Actually, hold on, I should have shared this earlier. Rocks fall.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So as that kind of resolves, a little time passes, things calm down. Like I said, the clicking of the chulls that have survived and the moans of the injured that Evan is currently tending to fill this small, now kind of enclosed ravine area. Left for dead, you and any others must last through the night. The few survivors each eye each other warily, and there is open talk about everyone going their separate ways. You must rally the survivors, tend to the wounded, and reestablish the camp if you don't want to remain, or if you don't want the remains of the caravan to fall apart.
Rally the troops.
Yes, rally the troops, exactly. So let's see. Do I have something here to share? No. So we are going to jump into what is called an endeavor, which I kind of explained earlier. So the way this is going to work is it's like a skill test or skill challenge in D&D, where there will be options of things to do. You guys can improvise things based on what your character would do, and we're making checks. If you succeed on the check, it's a success towards the endeavor. If you fail, it's a failure towards the endeavor. If you fail a certain amount before you succeed a certain amount, the endeavor is a failure. Otherwise, you succeed and get, benefits and things like that from it. And I have a list here of some suggestions that I can give you for like what you might want to do to help, unless you have an idea of your own. I'll list the ideas here, and then if you have your own thing you would want to do that you think your skills are better suited for, let me know. We'll go clockwise around the screen, so we'll start with Caputi and then go to Sam and so on. But some of the options here listed, again, these aren't the only choices you can do, is rallying survivors, scavenging for supplies, healing the wounded, or scouting for enemies. So,
okay,
Caputi, what would you like to do here as the calm sort of settles after this fight? What is your character's contribution to this?
I'll probably scout for enemies, kind of create a sense of a perimeter of like, okay, here's where their new waves of enemies could be closing in, or
sure,
kind of set our basis on the.
Sure. So it sounds like you're kind of walking around looking for weaknesses in the defenses and things like that. That sounds like it might be a survival check.
Okay.
So you can kind of look around and look at the sides of the ravines, and barring any more shard bearers coming in, just looking for protections here.
All right, sweet.
A 15. All right, that is a success here. And that will give you...
Looking for weaknesses for like escape routes or just stuff like that.
Sure. Let's see. What am I saying? All right, yeah, and you are able to succeed on that. Walking around, you find some weaknesses that might allow enemies to sneak back in if they wanted to, and you're able to, you know, get some people to help block them up, and add protections to the base, or your base of operations for the night, at least. Sam, what is your instinct here?
Could you repeat?
Sure. Rallying soldiers, scavenging supplies, healing the wounded, or scouting for enemies. Rudy already kind of did scouting for enemies, but if you wanted to do it a different way, like he used survival to kind of scope out weaknesses and stuff, but if you had something different you wanted to do to look for enemies, you could do that too.
I feel like I'm going to try and stay consistent and rally the troops.
Okay. Yeah, rallying the troops over, so the surviving troops rather than the like non-combatant people.
Or just, yeah, sure.
Well, because I will say it's up to you. It'll be a different check depending on what you're doing. If you're rallying troops, it'll be a leadership test. If you're doing survivors and just trying to do a general like morale boost, it would probably be a persuasion.
Okay.
So it's up to you which one you would like to make.
Could you try to persuade like non-combatant?
Yeah, that's something. The persuasion would be just like a general persuasion for the camp.
I think I'm just gonna do a general persuasion of camp.
Okay.
I mean, I've got a, pretty good bonus to either, but I think this is more going to be general rather than aggressive. So
sounds good.
All right, so that's a
12 is a success. So you go around and sort of just provide words of encouragement and kind of help maybe the non-combatants, but maybe people that you see a little bit more strengthened that could help bolster the forces since they've been heavily diminished. Some of the injured you go over to and maybe just speak a little bit of words to them to kind of make them feel better and brighten their spirits a little bit and just in general raise the morale of the camp. Perfect. All right, Evan. What is your move?
I'd definitely be trying to heal people.
Shocker.
Trying to yeah, I know, right? I'd definitely be doing that one and trying to do it with a good bedside manner. Talk to them, get to know them a little bit, try and heal the mind as well as the body.
Okay, I would say if you're more focusing on the healing aspect, it will be a medicine check.
Yeah, that's definitely priority number one, I think.
Okay, then yeah, do a medicine check.
Nice.
Dirty 20. That is a success. So yeah, you're able to now that it's calmed down, you were a little flustered during the battle and had some missteps, but now that things have calmed down a little bit, you're able to get a really good look at who's injured here, triage the ones that are in the worst shape, get them all stabilized, and then move on to some of the less serious cases, but still help bolster these people and make them feel better.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I forgot to take notes since I'm doing that now. All right, Hemal, what are you doing? There's still a couple successes needed, so Hemel's gonna go, but then I'll ask if anyone has any other things they want to do. So keep thinking of stuff that you would do to sort of prep the camp for the night.
Oh, it's for the night? I thought we were prepping to try and get us back and up and going.
Well, if you have something you want to do to sort of prep for the future too, that works as well. But like a lot of the focus is like getting food and water and preparing for maybe not just the night because clearing the rocks is going to have to happen at some point to get people out of here and all that kind of stuff. But any preparation you're doing to help the situation is good.
Yeah, so my thought was in the attack, whatever pieces of the caravan that were like destroyed or broken, carts, wheels, things like that, I could help like recraft or rebuild.
Sure.
Get back on its feet and ready to go for tomorrow so we can keep moving and make sure we get there.
Absolutely. I would say that's probably going to be a crafting check.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, God, I missed that was
I feel
even a
like I
thing.
said the word crafting.
You did. I think you
Yeah.
did. But that's very appropriate, I think.
Yeah. Stand up. Nope.
Unfortunately, you may have some crafting expertise and knowledge in certain areas, but mending wagon wheels and fixing things with high storms and things as they are, making sure storm wagons are built sturdily so that they can survive the forces of the winds and stuff is a very tricky thing, and you try to help and it's just not in your wheelhouse to fix these things.
Okay.
Does anybody else have another idea? Hemal, if you have another one, or if anybody else has something they want to contribute, I can give some more options if
To kind of add on to my looking for weaknesses, I was thinking maybe setting up some kind of traps that would alert, if soldiers are attacking us.
sure.
Something that. So I guess that would probably.
What were you gonna say? Did you have an idea?
That also falls into crafting, but just kind of like just some alert system to see that.
I'd
Like,
say
especially for.
maybe either crafting or I'm thinking maybe thievery,
Okay.
as
Yeah.
like sneaky traps,
Yeah.
hiding some traps in case things come through and can alert you.
I like that as thievery over like a stealth situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. That's
Yeah,
an
yeah,
option.
Yeah, that's also better for me. Just. Oh,
Ooh, nice.
Jesus.
All right. Yeah. Dirty 20 again. That is a success. So you're able to set up some rudimentary traps. There's plenty of rocks around, so you can set up like rock traps that will fall and cause a small cascade to make some noise if things happen, stuff of that nature. We got a dog on cam.
Dog cam.
Coda cam.
Coda agrees.
Sure, and that is a very good success. Anybody else? Still a lot to do around camp here.
I got an idea, but if somebody else has one, I've been rolling like shit.
Well, that means now's the time to roll better, right?
Yeah, they can't all be shit. You have to roll good eventually.
Yeah, you got this.
Okay, based on what happened in those first little 2 sections, it's kind of evident I'm like a spy of some kind, is what it seems like.
Are you one of the informants?
Like insight check the people who remain in the caravan and make sure nobody stayed behind from the enemy and
Sure.
like infiltrated?
Yeah, that sounds like
Kind
a
of
good
insight
choice.
check.
Yeah.
Yeah. What am I looking? Does insight work?
Yeah,
Towards the
insight sounds like a good check for that for sure.
Yeah. Come on, baby.
There you go.
There you go.
A 16.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it'll work.
All right. So I will say looking at you survey the camp, kind of get an idea. You don't see any nobody seems to not fit in. People seem to recognize everybody that's here. There doesn't seem to be anyone that's off to the side on their own. Everyone who's able-bodied right now seems to be pitching in to help set up the camp. Something that you do notice, Bright Lady Relinat is not here.
Okay.
What is she up
And
to?
she was the leader of this caravan?
She was, yes. She was the one that was leading.
And,
I'm surprised I didn't realize that with how much I was interacting with them.
yeah. Okay. I will start yelling her name.
Yeah,
See if I
start
can
the
find her.
investigation. Is she dead? Is she?
Right,
and
lady.
if you start looking, one of the other soldiers, maybe a sergeant, who still remains, will come up to you. And actually, I have a name for this man. Probably, what's his name? Sergeant Velen. Who you know that after he was the sergeant, and if I'm getting my ranks mixed up, sorry, but he was a sergeant. But after all the hubbub here, he is currently the standing captain of the people that are left. He's the highest in command that remains, and he kind of looks around when you say that, and is getting it. now that you mention it, I haven't seen the Bright Lady since all of this kicked off. We haven't seen any sign of her remains or anything. That would have been something we would have noticed, but nobody has mentioned that.
Where was her tent or position in the caravan compared to where the attack was?
Her tent would have been at the center, the most like protected portion of the camp, or maybe back to, like towards the caravan more, somewhere that was well protected.
Mm-hmm.
Is it still intact from what we know, or now after the?
It's probably on the other side of the rock fall, so you wouldn't know.
Gotcha.
And he will rally a team
together a little party to go find out.
Yep, he'll rally a team to go looking. If you want to join, you're welcome to. But yeah, he'll get a couple soldiers to go climb over the rocks and look around.
And does she have any special abilities that would allow her to,
to just disappear?
Special abilities? What are you talking about?
This.
This is just a normal world with normal people, Caputi.
Right. I knew that.
Billy, where is this in the timeline?
It's during Rhythm of War. Not Rhythm of War. Words of Radiance, I believe.
Words of Radiance.
It's
okay.
This specifically for you, Evan, is taking place a few weeks before the duel.
Okay. Sorry, that just helps me understand who knows what elsewhere in the world.
No one really knows anything at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Do I? I think you explained it earlier. Bright Lady, Bright Lord. Those are just like nobility terms.
Yeah, yes.
It's
not even really that. It's anybody who has light-colored eyes is a Bright Lady or Bright Lord, right?
Okay.
But it's still like an honorific.
Yes.
Oh, so there's not like
it's not
set,
like
there's not like specific amount. Everybody knows all the Bright Lords and all the Bright Ladies.
No, there's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna look to the soldier who was talking to me and say, "Hey, I found this little note on one of the dudes that said the Shardblade guy was a Bright Lord." Does that make a difference?
Perhaps I didn't recognize the armor. Let me see. Let me make a check here for him. My first check of the game
for it. Yeah.
And a 6, and he wouldn't have a high stat for that.
Also
I didn't recognize the
stuff.
blade or the armor. I can check with the chain of command once we reach the war camps, but I don't know.
On the
lore?
Sorry.
Can I make like a lore check to see if I know?
Yeah. Sure, you can make a lore check. I think right now this is just Hemal talking. The rest of you aren't around right now, so this is just a Hemal thing.
Okay.
Kabuti, what was your question?
Easy.
I was gonna say, is she on Hemel's informant list? If that's how we're
yeah, that would be hilarious.
We'll see. We'll have to work out exactly what that list is right now, or between sessions, but maybe. So yeah, I think you bringing up the Bright Lord and him mentioning that he didn't recognize either of these things. The armor you didn't recognize, but the blade is a blade that you've heard about before. One of the families you're familiar with, one of the Alethi High Lord families. And you know that blade belongs to High Prince Thanadol.
Reliever of pain.
And while
Got it.
it's unlikely that was him,
Panadol.
a lot of the time High Lords will like lend their shards to specific people that they trust to use them in battle to like gain honor for them and their families. But from what you know, that was one of his blades. At least last you knew of its location, from the histories tracking it. That blade belonged to High Prince Thanadol.
Okay. I don't know this dude. I feel like I don't know.
I mean, you've been traveling with these people for a couple of weeks, so you're kind of familiar. I mean, maybe not with the soldiers. If you're not like buddying up with the soldiers, then you may not know him. But
yeah,
you know.
No, I'll tell him. We should tell what's our Prince Colin?
Yeah, Dalinar.
Yes, I'll tell him. We should tell him that dude was maybe Prince Thanatos, something like that.
Prince Thanatos, the god of death.
Panadol.
Okay.
Thanadol. That. I mean, we are near his lands, so that would, I mean, make the most sense. I don't know why he would be sending someone to attack us, but I will report that. Thank you for that information. That's very helpful. And he'll run back and find a scribe to that likely has a span read connected to the camps to report this.
Cool.
All right, cool. Back to the checks for the camp. A little bit more that needs to be done. I think we need one more success in order to consider this check a success.
I think we only have one more failure too. So.
No. You've only failed one time so far.
Oh, that was our only failure. Oh, look at that.
All right. What have we
Don't
done
do it
so
again.
far?
Set up some traps to alert you if people come through. Look for places that people could possibly come through. Healing the injured, and searching, inspecting the people that are here to make sure that nobody is an enemy in disguise. There's also something else here I should have been doing this whole time, but I'll do it for this role, and we'll explain the mechanic here because it's an important one. So whoever goes next gets to introduce the new mechanic.
Am I allowed to be a little cheeky, Billy?
Always.
Can I make some stew for everybody?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes, you can go and gather up some supplies, and yes,
perfect.
absolutely. You can absolutely make some stew. There's some carapace around if you want to throw some carapace in the stew.
Ooh. Crab.
Essentially, yes.
I had the thought when the arrows were coming down to go and hide behind a bunch of listeners because they have carapace, but I realized that's a very racist thought in this world. So
A little
I
bit,
shouldn't
yeah.
do that.
Although, I mean, in a lot of cases at this point in time, they are slaves or servants. So
Yeah.
people in the world wouldn't view it as racist. They would just view it as you protecting yourself, but that's a good thought. And there are probably a couple of parshmen, as they are called, with the caravan. But they kind of blend into the background. It's kind of that thing where, like, when you go, like, at, fancy people's houses, they have like servants and stuff, they kind of blend into the background. That, like, trope. It's that kind of thing. Let's see, what's a stew check?
Crafting.
I was thinking crafting, yeah. Did you
Crafting food.
crafting or survival would be my thought.
Oh, survival's better. Yeah.
Evan, hold on.
Yeah, I
Before
think
you do that
survival
check
makes more
though,
sense to me, too.
so
Yes.
click. You can choose if you want to do crafting or survival.
I'd like to do crafting, but it's probably a survival check.
I think either one could be justified. So whichever one you think is best.
You know what? I'm gonna
Yeah,
go only because it's
intelligence.
int based and it's cooking.
I was gonna
crafting.
that's all cooking is. It's just crafting with food.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of how I was thinking about it. So when you click on the check, and everyone click on one of your checks, don't roll it, just click on it just to see what I'm talking about, and I'll do it on the stream. There is this box that comes up for your skill test, right? So it has the attribute that you're rolling with, which is determined by the skill. So let me click on crafting here for the example. So crafting is intellect, so that's what it selects. The temporary bonuses, so like if somebody's giving you a +1 to a roll for one reason or another, you can add that in the temporary bonuses box. The raise the stakes, so we're going to be raising the stakes on this because this is an important check. It's the last hopefully the last check of the endeavor. You are making this stew for all of the people to try to liven the mood a little bit, make people feel better. So raising the stakes is for like important consequential moments that have some sort of effect on the world. And then under that, there's the configure roles portion.
Consequential stew.
Yes, consequential stew. there's the configure rolls here. So it has the skill test. It shows you what you'll be rolling, which is 1d20 plus whatever your bonus is. And then it has the little d20 symbol next to it, or like if you are rolling a plot die like Evan's going to be, it will have a d6 and a d20 there. And clicking on that, left clicking will give you advantage on the roll, right clicking gives you disadvantage. So you don't have advantage or disadvantage right now. I just wanted to explain that portion of it, but you are raising the stakes for this, so you add the plot die to the roll. The plot die has 4 possible results. There are 2 blanks, which is 1 result. There are 2 opportunity symbols, which is 1 result. And then there is a complication symbol with a 2 in it and a complication symbol with a 4 in it. The complications give you a bonus to the roll. So it can force you to succeed on a roll, but you also garner a complication along with it. So like if the check is a DC 10 and you, or a DC 12, you roll a 10, but you get the 4 on the complication die, you actually roll the 14, but then you also suffer the consequence. So that's how that resolves. So there are some abilities that you get later that let you like re-roll a plot die. So sometimes, even if you get an opportunity on a plot die, you might want to re-roll it if you need the bonus to push you into a success on the roll. Make sense?
Understood. Yeah.
Alrighty. So make that stew roll.
Do it up.
All right, so that's just a neutral 15. No complications or
It looked like that stew was going to be spicy on my screen.
It's good on mine. The stream is the roll of truth. So you are, you know, adept at, you've been traveling for a while, you know how to cook with what's around, and this is a trade caravan, so there has been some good things that have survived that have kept that you can throw into a stew. You gotta make maybe a couple pots worth because there's a decent amount of people left from the caravan, even though a bunch have been felled. But yeah, you make a very satisfying stew that makes everybody here happy.
Awesome.
Let's see. That.
It's a great way to bring it all together.
Yeah. So everybody, after doing all your works, doing all your researching and investigating here, get to settle down for a nice stew here at the end of the night. And this is a good place to do the ending of the chapter 2 stuff. So some of this stuff is listed to do here, and I'll do this all stream with you each individually so that we can talk about it more, because there's more decisions that need to be made that you might want to clear up. But because of the success here, it was 6 and 4, by the way. So you needed 6 successes here before you got 4 failures. Some things will vary. Maybe you need 2 successes before you fail at all, or something like that. They can vary depending on the severity of the endeavor. But because you succeeded here, you survive. The characters survive the night and awake with renewed hope. Every PC gains the determined condition. So if you go to your character sheets again, under the, where's it at? The effects and conditions tab, the lightning bolt at the bottom, it has all of the conditions listed. So you can click determined to note that you have it. It'll light up, and then when if you hover over it, it tells you what it does. So determined, when you fail a roll, you can lose the determined condition to add an opportunity to the roll. So you still fail, but you get something out of it. So all of you are currently determined, and you can choose to spend that whenever you'd like.
Filled with determination.
Is it only in the case of a failure that you can then?
Yes. Yeah. Determined can only be used when you fail a roll.
Okay.
And critical hits, by the way, like I said, you can spend an opportunity to get a crit. You can only spend an opportunity to get a crit on an attack that hits. So you can't use it to turn a miss into a critical hit. You can do other fun things with it, though. So, and you also get to choose some expertises. We'll get to that. That's something that we'll do off stream, because the expertises are a bunch of things you have to look through and make choices on that aren't relevant right now. And around the campfire, around the stew, everybody sits down and is talking, and you're kind of getting to know each other. You've all, like I said, been traveling together for a while, but probably not maybe interacting so much with each other. That's another thing we'll determine, is like your possible connections to each other. you don't all have to be connected in any way, but if you want to have past relationships with somebody else in the party, once we determine who everybody is, that is totally welcome. And we will again pick some stuff from that off stream to have ready for next time. One thing I do want to, well, no, I guess this is probably an important thing to pick next time. Well, no, we'll do this. We will determine what everybody's ancestry is. So there are 2 ancestries that you can pick. You can be a human or a singer. I probably should have talked about this earlier, because if you were a singer, it might have changed some of the interactions earlier, but we'll just retcon things if you say this one way or another, because in the heat of the moment, people probably would have just not reacted to you doing stuff if you're a singer. So humans are humans. There's a whole bunch of different cultures that we will pick from off stream. That's one of the things I was talking about we'll do later. If you want to play a singer, singers are and this is in like the world guide and stuff if you want to look at pictures of them, but they are humanoids, but they are covered in black, white, and red, some mix between 2 or 3 colors of carapace. The carapaces take different forms, can provide different protections or different boosts to stats depending on what forms you're in. So if you want to play a singer, you're able to. Just know that currently at this point in time, and spoilers just so you're aware, we will get to a point later on where things do change societally a little bit, but singers, the parshmen, as I said, are typically like servants and slaves to some people in this world. However, there are singers that aren't that have their own society. So if you're playing a singer, it is possible that you're like infiltrating them, or you're a diplomat from the singer land that's come to like deal with people here or something like that. So there are ways to work it in where you're not going to be you'll still kind of be looked down upon by a lot of the people in the war camps and stuff, because the singers are who they're fighting. But it is an option that you can play, and there are politics and story stuff to come out of that if you want to be a singer. So is anybody going to play as a singer? Do you have any inkling about that? And you don't have to make the final decision now if you change your mind later, but just something to think about if you want to be a human or a singer. Those are the 2 options for ancestries.
I think I'll try to play a singer.
You want to play a singer, you think?
Yeah, I think I'll try it.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
I think I'm still rocking human.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a singer and 3 humans. 3 humies. All right, and we'll figure out what your guys' cultures and stuff are later. And Kabuti, you'll pick some Rosharan cultures that you're familiar with. Like if you are a diplomat, well, you would have the culture probably you're knowledgeable about will be whoever you've been staying with and dealing with in Alethkar or Yakavet or wherever you are. But we'll talk about all that off stream. Right. Cool. So that's good to know then. We will then jump to the next part, to part 3 here. There is another little mechanics checkpoint here, so we will get these stats figured out, and then we will get back to the thing, the rest of the story. All right, everything's allocated. All of the points are good. We will get back to the next day. So you guys ate your stew, all bedded down for the night in a camp that was as homey as you could make it for the night. And at dawn, Sergeant, now Captain Velen, the one that spoke with Hemal last night, the de facto captain of the remaining Colon caravan soldiers, approaches you all and takes stock of the tattered remnants of the caravan. Plumes of dusty brown exhaustion spiral around him. Most are in bad shape, he growls, gesturing at the survivors, and it'll take weeks to shift those boulders. We'll need help. He looks at you appraisingly. There are other Colon forces headed to the Shattered Plains. Would you be up to finding them and sending help our way? And he looks and he's like, you seem to have that information that you've found about the Shard Blade is important. He'll look at you, and then he'll look at Kaputi and just, I saw what you were willing to do to protect those men. Anybody who goes out there right now is going to need some sort of protection. You, looking at Evan, seem very adept at healing and protecting the wounded. And your leadership, Sam, was very empowering to the troops, and I think that would be something good to get help sent back here. The four of you, it would be a great boon for us if you would be willing to go and find us aid. So basically, you know that if you don't go now, it will be weeks before you get to the Shattered Plains where you need to deliver this information that you have.
I say exactly that in response to.
Oh, one other thing he will note to you, Hemal, on that is, I found some scribes, but many of our spanneries were destroyed in that attack, or taken by the enemies. So we weren't able to get in contact with the camps about your knowledge of the deception that was pulled on us and the missing Bright Lady. We have no way to communicate back with the camp.
Okay.
All right. It's kind of what I do anyway, it seems like, so I guess I'll do it.
Yeah, and I'd respond with, of course I'll go.
I'll just I'll say I'm here to serve others. I'll find help. Do we have any of those fancy pens? No.
I don't think any of you picked one up or had one. So there's like 3 different opportunities for you guys to get a spannery, and nobody got one.
Damn, because it would be good to leave one here. And how far? What's the range on those things?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice.
Basically, as long this is something that nobody in world knows at this point in the world, but as long as there's no aluminum around, you're good.
Awesome.
Yeah, there's no real set distance that ever gets discussed.
No.
Okay.
All right. So
You have a network, right?
What'd you say?
To connect it.
Say that again.
Never mind.
Well, no. What was the part of that? I didn't hear anything before network.
Like, don't they need to have a network to connect the spanneries?
No, it's just two. They are like soul linked to each other. So one always writes to one other one.
Yeah.
So there is a network where like there's a central location that has like 100 span reads that go to like a bunch of different nobles and you know, high-ranking people
I read that
around the world.
in the book. They're under like some Azer city.
Yeah, they have like a span read hub.
City.
But that's just to have for their agents that are out and about in the world to write back to like the important capital cities and stuff.
Okay.
All right. So with all of your agreements, one or all of you can add the send help to the caravan goal. Sam, I think your goal that you already have sort of already covers this.
Yeah, well, mine is to lead survivors to safety.
Yes, which I think
safely to the war camps.
Yeah, and I think this will sort of go along with that. Like once you send help here to find them, that will fulfill that goal for you.
Okay.
Because you're not gonna individually lead these guys. This is going to be, you know, you helped them the night before, and you're gonna go get help to like send to them, but you're not necessarily coming back here once you find that help.
So this is not. So I do or do not add.
Don't. But whenever the party progresses this goal, you progress your goal that you have.
Okay.
And I will say this first step of leaving the caravan to go find help is one step towards progressing this.
Gotcha.
Is that one step towards my delivery?
Yeah, I would say leaving this to head back to the camp, yes, will be a step towards your delivery as well. I think typically you're only supposed to progress
one at a time.
Well, no. Actually, Sam, don't check a second box on yours. I think you're only really supposed to progress maybe it's once per scene and not once since it's separate scenes. So never mind, you're good. Keep 2 checks. I'm trying to remember if it's once per scene or once per session progressing a goal. It might be you're only supposed to progress it once per session. But
okay, so I do have 2 checks on my goal.
I'll leave it at 1 just to keep it in line with everybody else's, because it wouldn't make sense for you to finish the goal when the other 3 still haven't succeeded in sending help back, you know.
Yeah, well, I started mine first, so
Yeah, you did. You did. It's more your goal than everybody else's. Don't worry.
This means more to me personally.
All right, and then in response to you all agreeing to help, he will look at each and every one of you and nod in respect. Herald be praised for you. A larger caravan left not long ago, not long after ours, headed to Covenant Stone Crossroads to the east. You might find help there, but first let's look what sort of gear survived the rock slide and get you armed. And he'll walk over towards a, some of the carts that have some of the gear that you all have brought along with you. And the place, so yeah, Covenant Stone Crossroads is the place that he tells you to go to. So for this part, for the supplies here, I ran this with my other group and it didn't really make sense the way the game does it. So I'm just going to go with what we have here is what you get. So the way this has been working is as you've been doing stuff, some things have generated resources for you. Like if you recover things or find things out, it gives you resources. And then that determines what you get item wise here before you leave. However, the way that this works is it asks you what you want to leave behind and gives a bunch of stuff like food and water and weapons. And it's like, yeah, we're going to leave that kind of stuff behind, but that would just leave you with no resources for your own. So I'm just going to say there's enough stuff here for the camp to have their own stuff. And what you guys accumulated is what you get. Long story short, you guys get, let's see, gain. Let me go to the table. Oh wait, actually, do I have a table for it here? Yes. I think I do. Appendixes, equipment, haha. So you guys accumulated 5 resource points during your adventures there. And what that amounts to is you get 8 common items, 5 uncommon items, and 1 rare item to bring with you. So there might be a chance for a span read here. We'll see. Do me a favor. On the right side where your character sheet stuff is, there's a rollable tables tab. Do you guys have access to that?
I think, well,
it's like the box
with
with
a tab.
There's nothing in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to configure owner, all players, observers. Can you see common items?
You just got it. Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so let me share this with the stream. Actually, we're going to be rolling on it. It'll pop up anyway.
Is
So
this in the items block? I don't.
no, in the rollable tables tab,
Oh,
there's a common items thing that showed up. So you guys get 8 items. So I'll say each of you gets to roll twice on this table to see what you generate. And this isn't you specifically taking this. This is just what they have extra that they're providing you. You guys can, if it's weapons, you can distribute them how you want. If it's stuff you can't use, you can take it and sell it later for money. But this is just what they have to spare to send with you guys on your trip.
Okay.
Do you see a draw result button at the bottom, or do you just have the list?
I do see
the
that.
draw result.
Okay.
Draw
Yeah.
result.
So each of you click that twice.
I will do mine at the end.
I'll go for it. Oh, same.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, I was just...
No, you're fine.
Nat 20.
So you get wax and 5 candles.
Okay.
A glass bottle from Caputi, a sling from Caputi,
Long spear.
a long spear from
A
Sam.
long spear.
So we'll figure out how this is distributed then. A sheet of 10 sheets of paper and some ink, another short spear, and then one more from each Evan and Hemal, I believe.
God, you just gotta outdo me, Sam.
A suit of leather armor, and another natural 20, Hemal.
And wax candles.
So you guys have 2 things to wax and 5 candles.
Well, so 10 candles.
Yeah.
10.
So I don't know if you want one person to keep track of a group inventory or if you each want to decide who distribute this how you want. Figure that. Let me know how you want to do that.
Can we
What we
drag
got here?
these into an inventory?
Okay,
or
so
is
go
it,
go to the compendium packs tab on the under the music note.
Under music note. Ah, cool.
And you should see, is it under, oh, there's an items thing. Do you see that, or do I have to share that with you?
I think you gotta share.
It's
No,
under
it says players have observer.
Stormlight starter rules.
Oh yeah, you have to expand.
Stormlight starter rules items.
Okay.
You know, it's also under the handbook. There might be more if you look at the handbook. So some of these things that like the armors and stuff will have specific stats and things. It might not have the candles, so you might have to just add those. But I'd say determine. I just say determine who's taking what, and add them to your character sheets.
I would like some of the candles.
Go for it.
Highly contested.
All right, so Hemel's taking 5 candles and a block of wax.
Since is it let's see. Since I'm proficient with light weaponry, I'm just assuming short spear.
Yep, short spear's
Also
light
under
weapon. Yep. Hamel, wax is under the items, by the way.
I just put the candle in. I'm going for wax now. Yep, there it is.
Candle is there too, by the way, under equipment.
Yep, I put 5 candles and wax. Yep.
Cool.
But I mean, I
Is
do
there any
already have a
other,
short bow too.
light
so.
weapons, like a dagger.
Yeah, like if,
There's a
like if
short
somebody
spear and a
does
light
need-
spear. There might be weapons and stuff. Actually, here, let's roll the rest of the rolls and then we'll distribute the items. So you get 5 uncommon items. So I'll share the uncommon item table with you. Everyone roll on it once, and then I'll roll once.
So this isn't all the items. I thought this was it.
No, those are the common items you got. You also get 5 uncommon items and 1 rare item. So everyone roll once on the uncommon items table.
Shotgun rare.
Oh shit.
Is there?
Actually, for my roll, well, let's see what everybody else rolls. But for mine, I might just choose one for a specific
Everybody
reason.
roll once. Okay.
Yeah. So Sam rolled a mace, so there's some more weapons in there. A side sword. That's another light weapon.
Okay.
A tuning fork.
A tuning fork.
Well, Evan, you can use that to transfer stormlight from gems into
Ooh,
spheres.
shotgun poison.
Can I have the side sword?
Yes.
And I will say,
Okay.
anybody can use any weapon, like with, rolling with your light weaponry or heavy weaponry skill. Expertise
Got it.
in a weapon will add additional benefits to that weapon. Like some weapons are more deadly to somebody who's an expert in it. Some weapons are dangerous unless you're an expert in it, and failing with it can cause damage to you or other people. Since nobody rolled it, I'm going to say the item that I roll, because he knows that you've been taking care of people, Evan, is going to be a surgery kit.
Okay.
Nice. Thinking Evan should have that. Just
You sure you don't want it,
Yeah.
Kabuti?
I think it belongs to
In a museum.
not me.
Does anyone in particular want to roll the rare item, or do you guys want me to do that?
Nah, you
We only get one
got
of
it.
those.
You only get 1 rare item, yeah.
I want to do it.
All right.
Hey.
No pressure.
Hey, Sam called it. I asked. Sam called it.
All
You ruined
right,
it.
we'll
It's on you,
we'll
Sam.
see. We'll see.
1 roll on the
Oh
rare
wow,
items table.
there's some cool stuff here.
I
Yeah.
wanna at least
Alright.
look.
It's all pretty
Oh,
good.
wait. There's a napkin.
Come on, violet wine. Oh, a heat reel.
Heat reel.
So, as I said earlier, fabrials are like equipment or like technology. A heat reel is like a portable campfire, essentially.
Okay.
You
We're
power it
going
with
into
stormlight and
crazy
spheres.
lands, right? The shattered.
And we have a tuning
Rip
fork to
broken.
channel that, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can recharge it
Yes.
with a tuning fork, or you can also just replace. I think you can just replace the gem, or leave it out in a high storm and it'll recharge or something.
I mean, we could channel
Alright.
fire between.
No, it's just like it emits warmth.
Okay.
It's not
Alright,
actual fire;
I
it
want-
just emits warmth.
the
Can I see
poison,
the
if
list
I can have it?
of?
I shared it. You can see the rare item list.
Oh, I couldn't see it in rollable tables.
It should be there. Is it not?
For some
Oh,
reason,
that's
can't
because
see
I
it.
only changed Sam's. There, everyone should be able to see it now.
Just curious.
By the way, the heat reel does have an item card under the standard fabrials section of the items list. That might not be under the starter rules. That might be under the Stormlight Handbook section.
Okay, so
So divvy up everything you got there, and then we'll continue here.
So yeah, I don't see the poison.
It's under. I saw poison. I think it's under equipment. Yeah, there's poison under equipment. There's effectual, potent, and weak poison. Again, it might not be under the starter rules. You might have to go under the Stormlight
there it
Handbook.
is. Sorry.
The-
Effectual poison. Can I take that, guys?
Yeah, you can take that.
Yeah.
Surgical supplies, the same as surgical kit.
Yeah. Yes. I'll say yes.
Okay, that's just the surgery item I found.
Who wants the heat thing with the tuning fork?
Um,
I
Is
feel
there
like
more
they're a pair
spiritual
set,
magical
right?
boy.
I'll take
Are we-
that. I have base knowledge on using these things.
Is anybody stronger that wants to take the mace? I feel like that's
Well, mace. I was actually trying to figure out whether I wanted the mace or the side sword, but it looks like both of them use speed as their attribute.
okay. They are both speed. Okay.
Yeah, they're both light weapons.
So, yeah,
Got it.
I'll take the
Got it.
side sword, and if you want the mace as a melee weapon,
I could, unless anybody else needs it.
Also, if you look,
I need a
We
speed
also-
weapon. Don't.
We
care
also
which-
have a long spear, short spear, mace.
also if you look at the weapon card, it does have, you know, the damage roll, blah blah blah. It tells you what its expertise trait is. If you look at the handbook, it will tell you what expertise in certain weapons will do. Like momentum, what that does. I think momentum is like if you move a certain amount, you can make an attack.
Okay, yeah, long spear is
For
heavy.
example. So yeah, just so
Spear
like
has range to it.
if there's any weapon expertise traits that you guys want to know about, let me know. Like I was saying, momentum is when you attack using this weapon, if you already moved at least 10 feet in a straight line towards your target, you gain advantage on your attack. So that's the kind of stuff that expertise traits will give you. That just means that if you take that weapon and you want to use that trait, you'll have to take that weapon's expertise as one of your expertises down the line. Have I said expertise enough times?
I don't think so.
All right, yeah. So you guys took the short spear and the mace. I'll take the sling if nobody did.
Go for it.
Cool.
Yeah, I can take
Um,
short spear. Or yeah, one of
And
the other.
then I guess the long spear is just floating. Whoever wants it, you can have
Yeah, I
it.
guess I'll take the long spear. I don't mind that. That's fine.
By the way, the heat reel can be used to cook food. So it is basically like a portable campfire. If it's on and you touch it, it deals damage.
Okay.
It has a certain number of charges that it expends daily. It
Just passively,
expends
right?
the charge, one charge for every hour that it's active.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. For comfortable ambient heat, it's one charge per day. For temperatures high enough for cooking or blacksmithing, it expends a charge per hour.
Or blacksmithing is a crazy sentence.
Yes. I feel like the heat needed to blacksmith is a lot higher than the heat needed to cook food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody care if I take the armor? The leather armor?
Go for it.
That's you, man.
By the way, the tuning fork, the specifics for that is that it can transfer stormlight from one sphere or gemstone to another. While using a tuning fork, you can use spheres to recharge fabrials, shard plate, or half shards as if the spheres were unencased gemstones.
They have half shards in this?
Half shards like the big shields that they use.
That like still never really get discussed?
Yeah, nope, those are in here.
Interesting.
So the way the leather armor works, by the way, and when you equip it, it should automatically do this. You have a stat on your sheet called Deflect. Are you able to drag the leather armor into your own sheet, Evan?
I have it on my sheet.
Cool. If you look, and all of you who have weapons and stuff, go to your equipment tab on your character sheet. I'll pull this up on the stream so the stream can see what I'm talking about.
I don't have access to sling as a weapon in the items.
Okay, I will look into that then and add it for you. So if you look at the character sheet here, you'll see that next to weapons and armor, there's like a symbol of a sword or a shield, and you can click that to know which equipment you are currently using. So like Evan clicked the long spear and the shield. So now if he goes to his actions tab, it has strike, long spear. So it will have the specific attack actions for that weapon. Kaputi's has strike, short bow.
Oh, based on, okay, all right.
So it'll show, but you can just click it from the equipment tab, but it's better if you click it from the actions tab instead. Hemal Sling is in the thing for the handbook, not the starter rules. But I have it here. I can drag it for you. And if you haven't noticed, you can search at the top of the list. There's a search function.
Just to go over the strike stuff.
Yeah.
Right. I've got my. I mean, unless I skipped a step, I've got my side stored.
Right.
Right. In my weapons list. Then when I go to actions.
Yeah. So go back to your equipment for a second. You see the two swords.
Yes.
Click one of them. So the longer sword means it's in your main hand. The shorter sword means it's in your offhand. The difference between that is an offhanded attack costs focus to do. So.
Oh, and now strike side sword is on my list of weapon attacks.
Yep.
Weapon actions.
And a weapon doesn't need the offhand property to use as an offhanded weapon. It just costs less focus if you're an expert with an offhanded weapon, or like I think there are specific weapons that just have the offhand property. Maybe not without expertise, but that just means that it costs one focus rather than two in order to do an offhanded strike with it. And offhand just means using it with your non-dominant hand. So like if you're left-handed and you have a sword in your right hand and a dagger in your left hand, the dagger is your offhanded weapon. If you have the dagger in your left hand, the sword in your right hand, the sword is the offhanded weapon in that case.
Okay.
All right, you guys got everything distributed here?
I think so.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What else do we get? I took. Did somebody else take the other wax and candles?
I thought you were taking both of them.
I can take both of them. That's fine. It's easy enough.
Yeah. Take 10 candles and 2 blocks of wax.
All right.
I guess so. We don't know yet who can read from this party. For the
I'd like the 10 sheets of paper and the ink if nobody else wants it, just because I think it's gonna end up being me.
Yeah.
And we have already determined that Hemal can at least understand. Like I said, there is a men's script that uses glyphs that a lot of like military men can use. So it is possible that some of you understand that. It's just not as complex of a writing system as, written word.
As the women's script.
What'd you say, Evan?
I said as the women's script, as they call it.
Yes.
Can we just go through and make sure that we've distributed all of the items?
Yes.
Yes.
Good idea. Also,
Yeah.
I did forget to mention one thing. So Evan taking the armor, it gave you a deflect value of 1. What that means is any damage you take of specific types, I think keen, what are they called? Hold on. There's 3 types of damage that deflect blocks. Keen, impact, and then energy, maybe. I'll have to look, but anytime you take one of those 3 types of damage, it's reduced by your deflect value. So in this case, 1 for Evan, and then 0 for everybody else. Okay, go ahead with your item distribution, please.
Okay. So, Hemal, you took the wax and 5 candles.
Twice.
Who wants the bottle?
I can just throw it in my inventory.
If nobody else, you would just want to take all of our miscellaneous stuff.
Yeah, I'll just throw it.
miscellaneous
Okay.
The pack mule.
bag of holding.
Bottle, I don't see. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay.
And then,
And then-
Hemal, did you also take the bling?
Yes, he did.
I have the sling, the bottle, the candles, the ink and paper, and the poison.
Okay.
Okay.
Like most of the stuff.
I have.
Did
the long
anybody
spear.
take you have the long spear?
Correct.
I have the short. spear.
You have the short spear. Evan, you have the leather armor.
Correct.
Okay. And then Caputa, you have the mace, right?
Oh yeah, I can put that in. Yep.
Okay. I have the side sword. Who is the tuning fork?
I have the tuning fork.
Oh, wait, we
okay.
have 3 speed melee weapons.
Yeah, but the mace
I will
is
take
another
the
speed.
third if we have 2, or if
Yeah.
someone's got 2.
You can take the mace then.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. And then Evan, you said you have the tuning fork. You also have the surgery kit and the heat reel, right? Okay.
Yes.
And then
Hemal has the poison, right?
Hemal has the poison.
Yep.
Hemal's poison. Poison designed specifically for Hemal.
Sam, it's
You
very
have no
appropriate.
idea how close that is. I came really close to being Kuzco as a character in this.
Kronk.
That would have been really
Were
funny.
you? It was Kronk, right?
Yeah, oh, sorry. Yes, it was Kronk.
Yeah,
It was Kronk. It was the poison. Yeah.
We were discussing this like yesterday.
That's really funny. Okay.
It is really funny. But that's everything.
Great.
Perfect.
Okay.
One more thing. Each of you roll me 2d6, please.
Just out in the ether.
Yes, on the either. Oh, good big roll from Evan.
To die.
Doubles. That means I roll again, right?
Oh, double.
Cody
doubles.
also got doubles. Okay, so let's see here. Sam
I thought I got snake eyes. But
Sam-
somebody else's one.
roll a 4. Okay, Sam roll 2d6. 6. Hemal roll 4d8.
Oh, Jesus.
And then 10 and 11 are the same. Evan and Caputi roll 3d12.
There we go. Oh,
I was muted. What did I miss? I stepped away for a second.
4d12.
4 or 3? Oh, what was
Or
I supposed to roll?
3d12. You're right, 3d12.
Okay.
Damn, Evan, big rolls.
Holy
All right,
crap.
now everyone go to your equipment tab, and where the spheres are, that's how much money you got.
Thank God it was just money.
Just like the 48 number or the total between
The
two?
second number you rolled. So put it under, at the top, under your physical defense, there are 2 spots for infused and done spheres.
Yeah.
Put it there.
Which
Infused.
infused or done?
Yeah, infused.
Okay.
So what that means is, like I said, Stormlight is captured in these spheres to like power things. A sphere that has Stormlight in it is considered infused. Over time, they lose the energy in them and they become done. They're recharged during high storms, which again happen like every week. So for the most part, you're gonna have infused spheres.
So I
For
get
now.
11 plus 22 spheres.
No, just the second number, so 22.
Okay. What was the first number then?
To determine what you rolled to determine how much money you had.
How do we?
How do we edit?
Okay.
I was just gonna say
It's not
that.
letting me put in that number.
Really?
I was just thinking I was an idiot.
Oh,
So.
weird. Why is that not working? I can't do it either.
Should we put it as a loop for now?
It might be bugged right now. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Maybe it's. Yeah, I don't know why that's not working. I'll figure that out. So just note it down. I'll note it down here. Starting, and I'll figure out why that's not working. Spheres. Sam has 7.
Give me like 2 seconds, guys.
Go for it. Hemal has 17. Cootie has 16. And Evan has 22. That's very odd that it's not letting you add them.
Yeah.
I'll figure something out. Unless it exists in the items. Oh, it might actually.
It does exist on items.
So it might
was just thinking
just take the
that.
number that you have in your items and add it to
Yeah, like that totalizes the value of all of the things.
Yeah,
if
except the
there's a
money
value
here
associated.
is tracked in marks, and the only thing in the items is bromes.
Okay, I dragged an emerald over and I got 50.
Yeah, so why is that's so weird?
Oh yeah.
Oh, because it's tracked in marks.
Yeah.
So no, I accidentally gave myself 50. So you
That's-
do a ruby, and then like I do a ruby and 2 diamond.
That's so weird.
How do you
Yeah.
know this?
In the items tab, so you go into the I think it's
Yeah.
rules.
Ruby's at 10, but is there?
Oh no, it's in the hand.
There's also not
Nope.
anything worth 1 mark.
Yeah,
I was gonna
diamond.
say that. Oh.
Oh, right, a
okay.
diamond is one. Oh, yeah, that's well, no, but bromes, a diamond brome is not worth 1 mark. A diamond
Anything
mark
worth
is
5?
worth 1 mark.
Yeah, but a diamond brome is worth 4 marks.
What are these people saying?
Right, but what I mean
There's
is
the-
there should be something worth 1 mark. Okay, if you can search for chips. If you get garnet chips are worth 1 mark. So you can then just have X amount of garnet chips will set your mark total correctly.
I guess that would have made more sense instead of
How did you
copying over
how did you
6
find
diamonds.
this?
In the items list, if you search for chip or brome and then you click on it like amethyst chip, it tells you in the top right hand corner it's worth 5 MK, which is 5 marks.
Huh, I don't see the 5 MK. That's the part.
It'll log into your it'll total into your little sphere count.
Okay.
This is just us figuring out the system.
How do I get rid of money, Billy?
If
Rubies
you
are 10.
on the right side click the three dots and you can hit remove.
You can
What did I
delete
miss?
I figured out how to do the money. So I just
Okay.
put in your inventory, Sam, you have 7 garnet chips. 1 garnet chip equates to 1 mark. So you'll see now that it says you have 7 marks, even though you have 6 or 7 garnet chips really in your inventory. For some reason, marks aren't an option.
It's just the way they value.
Oh wait, they do come up. What the fuck? It didn't come up the first time I typed it. So a diamond mark is worth 1 mark.
Yeah, there's marks. Yeah.
I searched for marks before and they didn't show up. So don't use chips. I'm dumb. Use marks.
Ruby's 10.
What 3 dots?
On your
In the
character
top
sheet,
right?
like, so go to your inventory under loot where it says, X mark or brome or whatever the hell you used.
Oh, I wasn't looking in the loot.
Yeah.
Okay, we're fine.
And then drag in a diamond mark and give yourself the number that equates to how many you have.
Can I roll again?
No. Good try.
Nice try.
That's good.
And I think with that, this is a good place to end, and we'll pick up next time with chapter 3, which will be the end of this session 0, which we should be able to wrap up fairly quickly and then start into chapter 1 of the main adventure.
Stonewalkers.
So
Alright.
we'll sign off here on the stream or on the YouTube stream. So thanks everybody for watching this first intro episode. We'll get to the full adventure next time. Caputi, Sam, Evan, Hemal, thanks everybody for joining, and we'll see you all next time.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. It's this.